He is a passionate speaker who has led several seminars, workshops, and entrepreneurship training programs, empowering young people with skills for business growth and sustainability. This is nobody but Bless Tettey Odjao. He is speaking to us on the topic Legal Foundations for Sustainable Success, Structuring and Positioning Your Startup for Long-Term Growth. Mr. Bless, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Samuel, for the wonderful work. And I thank the entire team at Youth Development Ghana. I also want to thank the President Gideon for the hard work that he has been doing. And I want to thank you so much for taking opportunity to join us. We are going to have a very wonderful discussion. And I believe that we are going to leave here with tools and ideas that we need to do business the right way. And we should be so much grateful to Youth Development Project Ghana for giving us a very intensive seminar like this for free. So when we go on our knees, let's remind them in prayers. I am speaking, as earlier said, let me share my screen. I'm going to speak on legal foundations for success. So here we are going to look at structures and then how we can position our business for long-term growth. Now, let me start with this. Please, if at any moment you cannot hear me, I believe you cannot hear me. Let me confirm that before I proceed.
Yeah, you're clear.
Okay, yes, thank you so much. I can hear you. Good. So let me start with this. Even though we have people outside of Ghana joining us, I'm assuming that it is in their countries. Here in Ghana, when a young person is about to marry, one of the common advice that is being given to the person is that marriage has a long journey. The journey of marriage is very long. That is one advice that they give to anyone who is about to enter into marriage. And with that being said, what it means is that you need to prepare well before you embark on that. But I want to say that business is like eternal life in Christianity. There is no lifespan when it comes to business. And we cannot attest that the world-renowned brands like Coca-Cola, KFC, and mention them all. They are older than even all of us. The owners and the founders, we cannot even know where they are now. But the businesses are in existence. Why? Because they have put in place structures and they have put in place, things that could take the business beyond. So anytime that you think of starting something or anytime that you think of business, think about you building something that has no end. I could say that the lifespan of your business is equal to the lifespan of the world. So your business is coming to serve the world. So as long as the world is in existence, your business should remain relevant. When the world is no more, of which it's only God who knows how it's going to be, then the business is no more in existence. But I don't have it in mind that, let's assume that with our team, quick learn, quick end. So I'm coming to do something quick and I'll be out. No, you are building something that transcend generations that you could think of. So let that even guide us as we begin our presentation. My name has been mentioned already. So permit me to borrow these few words from the Holy Bible. I'm a Christian and that is the book that I'm more familiar with. So in Matthew chapter 7, verse 24 to 27, this is what our Lord Jesus was talking about. And I want us to relate it to what we are about to learn. He says that, therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I would liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on the house. And it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. So this is our Lord Jesus Christ speaking to his audience by then. And he was telling them that whatever I am telling you now, when you keep it and you work with it, you will be compared to a wise man that built on a rock. So what I'm trying to say is that what we are about to discuss from now till the end of this seminar, if we will all put it in practice, if we will all learn and use it, we will be compared to a wise person that builds on a rock. The wind will blow, the rain will come, economic indicators, whatever will come, but your business will still remain the same. And the verse 26 is the opposite, which I don't want to talk much about because I don't want us to find ourselves in that. Like the person building in the sand, it will be easy for you to build, but when the rain comes, it will fall. So we are now coming to examine the rock as it relates to business practices. So someone will ask, why do legal structures matter? Now, let me put it on record that legal structures are not just formalities. They are not just requirements. You are not going to lay a legal foundation for your business just because the laws of the country require that. But you should know that it's part of your business strategy or it's part of building business. So take it out of your mind that I am not going to do this because I've been forced to, but I'm going to do this because it is part of the business that I am building. And I'm going to talk about only 3, and as we go ahead, we are going to look at more of them. One of the reasons why you need to build a legal structure for your business is to be able to manage risk successfully. So in business, we say that entrepreneurs are risk takers, but they take calculated risk. And risk management is something that is so important. Your ability to plan for your business to stand in the face of anything at all that may intend to destroy your business is what risk management is all about. So now, when you build a solid legal structure, you are able to exempt your business from shutdowns, from fines, and from disputes, and any other risks that may come. Now, in Ghana, few years back, we all know of the financial sector cleanup exercise, that about 7 banks were collapsed. On the surface, ordinary people like us, what we knew was that one of the major reasons was that they were not practicing good corporate governance. A lot of people will assess it from political point of view, from religious, from whatever. But when you read most of the report, one of the things that was common through all the report is corporate governance. And that has, assuming that is it, it means that that has led to the collapse of a business that has been built. That should tell you that legal foundations are very essential, and excluding them or not paying attention can cost you a lot. So if you don't want your business to shut down, if you don't want your business to be slapped with huge amount of fines, and if you want to exempt yourself from dispute and unnecessary expenses or debt, you may want to build a legal structure for your business. The next thing is investment opportunities. So the cheapest investor that you get and the cheapest donor or sponsor that you get will require that your business is registered. That is the cheapest. But beyond that, there are so many things that they inspect. Your tax clearance certificate, you must get a certificate from this, and this, and this, and this. So if you are starting a business and you are looking for people to bring their money and their resources, notice that they need a business that is well structured, that has a legal structure. You are into a not-for-profit organization, you go and seek for donor support and sponsors. Notice that they want to invest into business that is legally structured. You want to enter into partnership, you want to do collaboration. People are looking for business that have legal structures. You want to enter into contracts. If you are doing the new contract, you know that when you are doing bidding, your business registration certificate is required, your tax clearance certificate is required, certificate from public procurement authority, and the list is tall. That is if you are doing the right thing. So even with contracts, you need a solid legal framework to be able to get there. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is trust and credibility. So in doing business, you have stakeholders. They can be your customers, they can be your investors, they can be your employees, they can be your clients. They want trust. You need to build your legal structure in order for them to trust you. Anytime they hear your name, it should not be associated with something illegal. Anytime you are dealing with them, you must show proof that you are a legal practitioner, as in not as in profession, but someone who is doing business per the laws of the nation where you find yourself. Great. Now, how do we start building these legal structures? And this is where we are starting from. So I'm talking about legal structure. What is it? What exactly are we talking about? So now building legal structure starts with you being able to register your business according to the laws of this nation. And now I will walk you briefly through the various business types that you can register here in Ghana. The first one is sole proprietorship. So the word sole means one. So a business that is managed and owned by one person is called sole proprietorship. So it is easy because it's only one person that is involved. The cost of establishing is also low because you are the only person and it is usually small. Now, this type of business is not a separate legal entity. What it means is that the business is not different from the business owners. When we get to company, I'll throw more light on separate legal entity. This type of business, in terms of registration, is limited to only Ghanaians. So it is only Ghanaians that can register this type of business. Because it is owned by one person, you take all profit or loss alone. And then in terms of investment, there is no room for equity investors. So the finance people will tell us that people invest either for equity or for debt. So they give you their money to get a share, or they give you their money that you pay back with an interest. So if they are taking shares, because it is a one-man business, it is not suitable for them. The next business type is partnership, and it involves 2 to 20 partners that comes together. The key thing here is that they have what we call partnership agreement or partnership deed. And what is that? It's just like a constitution that governs the entire partnership. How we bring partners on board, how we operate the business, how we share profit, how we take away partners, how we bring in everything that concerns the partnership is contained in the partnership deed. And before you are able to register it, it must be prepared well, and it must even be stamped at the Land Valuation Board to ensure that you have a very standardized partnership deed that governs the entire partnership. Another thing that is so important in partnership that you need to pay attention to is that partners are jointly and severally liable. Now, this is more legal, but let me try to explain it in a common way that you understand. Assuming myself, Bless, Precious, and Samuel, and let's say, is it Ejiwa, assuming 4 of us, we are partners. Now, the action of one of us binds the entire partnership. So if me, Bless, I decide to do a transaction, and then the transaction has led to a loss, and then there is a need for us to pay, all of us as partners are liable to pay as partners, or each one of us is liable. So whoever that we are supposed to pay that money to can say that, okay, Bless is not financially sound. It's someone who is financially sound, so someone is supposed to pay, even though someone may not be the one that directly incur that liability. So that is something that is very key when you are going for partnership. Notice that you are jointly and severally liable. Now, the next type of business is company. And now you can have company by shares. It can be limited by shares or unlimited. It can be private or it can be public. And then with that, you can have 2 to 50 shareholders. Shareholders are those who have the money and they are bringing it together to start a business. So in the case of a private company, you have maximum of 50 shareholders. In the case of a public company, it is unlimited. Now you can have that number, and then you have company officers. If it is a company by shares, the officers are the directors. Anyone who is 18 years and above with sound mind without any illegal issue is qualified. So the company officers are the directors, the secretary, and then the audit firm. So these three are the company officers in the case of company by share. Now, if it's a company by guarantee, that is where we have the NGO, the churches, we have the foundations, we have the charity and all those things coming in. For them, in the case of company, we call the company officers, we call them directors. In case of company limited by guarantee, they are called executive council members. So we also have them there. Now, this company is open for investors. So even if it's a private company and you want to bring in investors, we have what you call private placement. So you can talk to one or two people, they come in, you give them shares and you are good to go. If it's public, then almost all of us are even shareholders of one company in one way or the other. A lot of people purchase share from MTN. So you are also a shareholder. So you are an investor. Just that we are categories. So that is it. Whether you are open for investment, as in equity, as in debt, or even as in sponsorship, you are looking for donors, this is suitable for you. Now, company is a separate legal entity. So those who are doing accounting understand this well. It's part of accounting principle. It says that separate the business from the business owners. What this simply means is that if shareholders have set up a company, the company is a separate legal entity. What it means is that the company is an artificial person. And that is why it must be incorporated and recognized as such. The company can sue and can be sued without the owners of the company coming into the picture. Let me give you an example. This is for academic purposes. We all know of Men's Good, and we know that all of us know that NAM1 is the owner of Men's Good. And blah, blah. But until now, a lot of people monies are locked up, and NAM1 is moving, literally, even though it's being to court and all those kind of things. Once it's a company, the company is on its own, and it is responsible for its own operation. So that is what legal separate entity means. The shareholders' liabilities may be limited. So if you are going for company limited by shares, what it means is that your liabilities are limited. For instance, if me, Bless, and Alex, Junior, we are shareholders, and I have 60% share, and Alex is having 40, and there is a liability, I'm required to pay 60% of the liability. That is equivalent to the shareholding that I have. And Alex is supposed to pay 40%. That is what limited by liability means. If it's unlimited, then that is a different thing on its own. Now, another business structure is subsidiary. So subsidiary comes in when you have a parent company and you want to set up another one under it. So subsidiary is just like a child of the mother company. The next thing is external company. So I'm glad that we have others joining us outside of the country. If you have a business outside of Ghana, you want to have a representative here, that is what we call external company. You need a local manager, and then you'll be able to extend to this country. And then beyond that, we also have the professional bodies, like the Institute of Chartered Accountant and all those professional bodies. So these are the various business types that one can register here in Ghana. Great. So when you look at my screen, you see that this friend of mine is confused because we've spoken about like 6 business types, and he's asking a simple question: which business structure is the best? Because you've spoken about 6. It's plenty in our eyes. So which one is the best? The question is that we don't have the best and we don't have the worst. It depends on your vision and what you decide to do. Do you want to have your own privacy, manage everything by yourself, control everything? Go for sole proprietorship. Do you need other partners to come on board with a detailed partnership agreement, knowing that you are jointly and severally liable? Go for partnership. Do you want people to invest into the business privately? Go for private company. Publicly, go for public company. Do you want donors? Do you want sponsors? Go for company limited by guarantee. Are you outside of the country and you want to extend to the country? Come for external company. Are you looking to set up a business under your parent company? Go for subsidiary. Are you a professional body? Go and register it as a professional body. Right, I can see a hand raised. I don't know how the questions are going to be. I believe that for what I know, the questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. So Precious Abby, please kindly write your question down. When we are done with the presentation, we will answer all the questions. Right. I believe you can all hear me, please.
Yes, please.
So I want to continue. Right. So
yes, please. Can I ask the question now?
No, please. We are going to take the questions at the end of the session. So kindly write it down
Okay.
and
Thank you.
give you the chance to ask. Sure. Thank you so much. So what are the key steps when it comes to registering business here in Ghana? The first step is to choose the name that you want to use. So when you choose the name, you have two options. You can decide to register it or reserve it. So now let's assume you want to reserve it. What you need to do is that you write a letter, you state the name and blah, blah, blah. They will search. If it is available for you, you pay and then you reserve. And every 3 months you renew it so that the name is reserved for you. If you want to register the name, then you go ahead with the following steps. So now you get the name you want to register. Now you determine which structure you go in for. Are you going for sole proprietorship? Are you going for partnership? Are you going for company? Which type of company? Is it a subsidiary? Is it an external company or a professional body? You determine the structure. Now, when you determine the structure, you acquire the relevant forms. Please, let's pay attention. If you are registering sole proprietorship, you go for sole proprietorship form. If you are registering a partnership, you go for partnership form. So you go for the type of business that you want to register, you go for that form. And where will you get the form? It's available to download online, or it's available on the in-house bank at the office. You can go and buy it over there or download it. You fill all the form, you add all the necessary attachment, and then you submit it for further processing. Great. So now, let's look at some of the key regulatory bodies that you may definitely have to encounter them in your business. You may definitely, if not all, some of them. Let me start with the ORC. So the ORC is the Office of the Registrar of Companies, and they are responsible for business or company registration. So in some time past, is the Registrar General. The Registrar General is still in existence and is doing so many other things. And now the Office of the Registrar of Companies has been set up specifically for business registration. So you cannot do business in Ghana without going to the Office of the Registrar of Companies, because that's the first point. That is where you are going to register your business. The next regulatory body is Ghana Revenue Authority, and they are responsible for tax and anything that is related to tax. So when you are done with registering your business, you go to them, also register for taxation purposes. Now, another regulatory body is Food and Drugs Authority. So whether it depends on the business that you are doing. If it has to do with food, it has to do with drugs, it has to do with something that will cover our body, cream and everything, and you want to do it well, you may have to go for FDA approval. And those of us who have been watching every advert, you realize that at the end of it, you hear that this advert is vetted and approved by FDA. It adds credibility to the product. It means that they have regulated the product. Then we have the Ghana Standard Authority. They also ensure that whatever product that you have is built up to standard. So if you know, they work in hand with the FDA and they are just at Shiashi. So I think Ghana Standard Authority is opposite Gulf House. And when you go forward a little to the left, you see Food and Drugs Authority over there. Then we have EPA, that is a Environmental Protection Agency. They are in every municipality. Now, the business that you are doing, if it's going to have an effect on the environment, when it comes to waste, how you deposit your waste, when it comes to smoke, if your business is going to have an effect on the environment, you definitely need to get to the Environmental Protection Agency for certification before you can proceed. Another regulatory body is Senate, and they are only into contribution. So if you are doing business and you have employees, you need to register with Senate and contribute towards the employee's retirement. So you the employer or the company that you are employing someone, I think you take 13% of their salary. That is, you are paying 13% of their salary. And then the employee, you deduct 5.5 to making a total of 18.5, I believe, I'm sure, of these figures. And then it will be paid to Senate. for the employee, so that at the end of the day, when they go on retirement, they are going to enjoy. Now, depending on the business that you are doing, you may go through all this and even more, or you may not go through. Or let me give you a typical example. If you are doing sachet water production, the normal here in Ghana, we call it pure water, the sachet one, the one that is in sachet. You may have to go through all this. Now, first, you have to register your business. From there, you go to Ghana Revenue Authority to register for taxation. And now, before you even go to FDA, you first go to CSIR, I think Center for Scientific and blah, 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 Research or something. You go there with a sample of the water, and they check the chemical component of the water. From there, you go to Ghana Standard Authority, you package it up to your standard, and then they also check it. From there, you go to FDA for approval. Even before that, Environmental Protection Agency will have to come and check where you are producing the water, the source of water, and give you certification. Now, if you are having employees, you still have to go ahead and get to Senate to be able to register with them and pay. So you see how the whole thing is going to be like. Depends on the industry that you find yourself in. Some may not go through. In fact, if your business is not having any effect on environment, and it has nothing to do with any product that will meet any standard, and if it does not fall within Food and Drugs Authority, there is nothing for you to go and do over there. But as for the ORC and GRA, it's a must, irrespective of the industry that you find yourself. And with Senate, once you have workers, it's also a must. Great. Now, what are some of the essential documents that you need before you can start operating? Remember that all of these are legal foundations that we are building for a long-term success. Great. So the first thing that you look out for is proof of your business legal entity. I mentioned earlier on that company is an artificial person. So just as somebody who is not a Ghanaian will acquire citizenship to become a Ghanaian, you need to incorporate that artificial person to be legally recognized. So you need the legal identity, and that is what we call the certificate of incorporation. So when you register a partnership or any type of company, you'll be given certificate of incorporation, and that is a legal entity that company is legally recognized here in Ghana. Now, if yours is not a company, you can get certificate of registration. So when you register a sole proprietorship, you get a certificate of registration. Please, you are not supposed to get the two. You are not supposed to get certificate of incorporation and certificate of registration. No. If you are registering sole proprietorship, you get certificate of registration. And then if you are registering company, you get certificate of incorporation. So you get one of them, depending on the type that you are registering. Now, after that, you may want to get business operating permit. That is if you have a physical location. So where your shop is located, where your office is located, there is a district assembly or municipal assembly there. To get a permission to operate within that assembly, you must get a permit. So you go to them, you go to the assembly, oh, I'm starting a business here and I need a permit. And they will give you, at first, you just pay 100 cedis, propose one to go and start, and then with time, they'll come and inspect the facility. They will classify it under category, and then they will let you know the exact amount that you pay. My brothers and sisters, it's embarrassing when here in Ghana, you see AMA task force closing people's shop. And for all for you to know, the reason is that they don't have business operating permit. AMA cannot enforce your business registered. It's not within their jurisdiction. Anytime they come around, they have issues. It's about business operating permit, and it is not expensive. Sometimes it's 100 cedis, 150, 200, and it's for the whole year. So why will you wait for them to come and close your shop? Imagine you have customers around. It's embarrassing. So just go to them, and then they create account for you. They give you invoice, you pay, then you come and paste your receipt. Anytime they are coming, they look at it, they know that you have paid and you are good to go. Then another thing is that you may need licenses depending on the industry that you find yourself in. For instance, if you are into health, after the registration, you know that HEFRA is the regulatory body for anything related to health. So you get them to inspect your facility and then give you a license to operate. If you are into school, if you are under Ghana Education Service, they have National something inspectorate board or so. They'll come and inspect your facility and give you license to operate. Fire service is also there. They give you certificate. So depending on the industry, you may also have to get sector-specific licenses. So these are some of the documents that you need. They are very essential before you start operating here in Ghana. Great. So now tax is also there. I will not talk much more because my senior man Benson is a tax person. I'm sure he will talk more about it during his session. But what you need to know is that you need to register with Ghana Revenue Authority. So when you are done registering your business, go there, tell them, go and register. So there's this perception that if I register my business, they'll be chasing me for tax. They don't chase you for tax. It's only in rare cases that they chase you. But there are situations that you yourself, you run to them. And that is where they will also show you where power lies. So don't wait for that time. Go there, go and register with them. Once you register with them, ask them, which type of tax am I paying? Is it income tax? Is it VAT? Is it payee? Is it corporate tax? And it's not me that will answer. When you go there and they look at your business type, they will decide the tax type that you are going to pay. And they will even decide the amount that you are going to pay, the intervals that you are going to pay, how you are going to pay. And now they even have a portal that you can access and do all your filings and everything. Now, at the end of whichever period, you have to file your annual returns. So filing annual returns means that you have paid all your taxes, and then you go back to the office of the registrar of company to renew your registration every year. Great. So as I'm coming to wrap up, I want to talk about this thing that is so important that you may not want to exempt it, even as you are starting your business. When it comes to agreements, please, it is part of your business legal structure. Now, to let people respect you and know that this person knows what they are doing, and to exempt you from some form of misunderstanding, and to even give you some evidence in case of legal issues, please, every time you are coming in contact with any person or any organization, make sure that you have an agreement. Agreement is simple. Offer and acceptance. I'm offering this, okay, I'm accepting it. Or this person is bringing this offer, I'm accepting it. That is all. Most of the time, I advocate that get a written agreement. Verbal agreement may fail. I can say this tomorrow. I can come and say that I didn't say it. There is no evidence. But if it is written agreement, the evidence is there. Now, you can even use pen to write, get A4 sheets. Write whatever you have agreed upon. Write it and then sign. Let each one of you have a copy. That is the worst you could do. Either than that, type a formal agreement and let the two of you sign. Where there is a need for witness, let witness come in. It will save you from misunderstanding in the future. And in case you need to prove an evidence at the court of law, it will help you there as well. And it also makes your business formal. Now, you can even go beyond the agreement and go in for contract. So agreement is just an introduction of contract. Agreement is offer and acceptance. So it forms the basis for contract. But beyond the offer and acceptance, there's what you call consideration. What are we giving in exchange for what? So we are entering into a contract. What are you giving? What am I taking? That is the consideration. That's the element of the agreement. Then the next thing is capacity. You have the capacity to give what you say you are going to give. That is why minors do not enter into agreement. Anyone that is below 18 is a minor and is not qualified to enter into agreement. About the capacity, we look at the legality. The element of the agreement must be legal. And this is where I want to advise you as a startup or whichever level that you are. Anytime that people are running away from agreement or contract, it's a sign that they are doing something illegal. Let me give you a common example. From experience, most of the private schools, this preparatory school or private school that we call them, the teachers who teach them, they don't have employment offer. They don't give them any offer letter. They don't give them agreements. I have witnessed because I have taught for some time. They won't give you anything. And they know well they can sack you at any time. Now, when they sack you and then now you are making noise, if you sack me, I'll take you to court. The simple question, the court will ask you, where is your appointment letter? You cannot provide it. And once you cannot provide your appointment letter, it is considered that nobody has appointed you at the first place. So anytime you want to enter into any form of partnership, or you are coming into contact with somebody and the person is neglecting agreement and contracts, notice that is a sign that the person is trying to do something illegal and you want to be protected. So you don't want to take yourself out of that. Advanced legal structures will have to be NDA, that is non-disclosure agreement. So most of the time, employees are asked to sign. I've signed some non-disclosure agreements some time ago, and I now realize that when I got to understand, I now realize that it was a very wrong move, because according to that, I may not even be able to start a business in that industry within the next 10 years. And what does that mean? It means that I was exposed to trade secrets. I was exposed to their plans, that if I'm supposed to establish business within that industry today, I'm likely to use their plans to succeed. So non-disclosure agreements are also there. Intellectual properties are also there. And all those things are also there. They are advanced form of legal structures. Great. So beyond the legal structure, I would advise that we build systematic foundations. Now, I always say that start a business with a business plan. What I mean by business plan, I'm not talking about the 20 or 50-page professional business plan that we write and take money. I call it just clear execution plan. What you want to do, just write it down and let that guide you from the start. If you grow and you get to a stage and you need a formal business plan or business proposal, you can go for it. With that, you are able to be consistent with what you are doing, because it serves as a compass, it guides you. So have a step-by-step plan in place. Then the second thing that I also advise is financial integrity. And like I said, I know that in the preceding sessions, they are going to talk more about proper bookkeeping. Please make sure that you keep proper financial records. So most of the things that we encounter in financial management advice is that, oh, I'm doing the business, but I don't know where the money is going. You have even answered the problem, the question. Because if you don't know where the money is going, it's a clear indication that you don't take record of the money. It is not a good practice. So you may want to take a very clean financial record, whether the business is for you or not. You may have to do that, and you may want to be transparent. And it helps you when external auditors comes around, when investors want to know, when all of those things help you. And then brand identity and values. You need to build a consistent brand. So your brand elements, your logo, your colors, your font size, your social media platform, anything at all that lets people know who you are is what we call brand. Anytime anything that concerns you is being exposed, what comes in the minds of people is what we are talking about here. And then you need to have values that guides you. Then the fourth thing is the intellectual property protection. I think I spoke about it. It's an advanced legal foundation. You may want to protect your trademarks, your logo, your patents in order to protect it from others using it. You have the right to do that. Just that here in Ghana, it costs quite high because it is paid in dollars. Great. So as I'm wrapping it up, I want to say that always embrace legitimacy. Please make sure that what you are doing is legal. Make sure that what you are doing is in accordance with the law. Always, always make it a point or make it as part of your business not to do anything illegal. Make sure that whatever you are doing is legal, and you have built robust systems, you have clear and then vision. Make sure that you are doing what you are doing is legal. The second thing that I would say is that make sure that you avoid shortcuts. As the name goes, it's shortcuts. So it will cut short. That's what people don't even get it. In as much as you get it quick, it will cut short. So please always avoid shortcuts. Moderators, I think someone is giving us feedback. If you could identify the person and mute them so that we can have a very fruitful. Thank you. All right, so don't go in for shortcuts. Now we are saying quick learn and quick end. It doesn't mean that we are coming to do shortcuts. That is why I like it, because the learn comes before the end. So you are going to learn before you are going to end. And it is not shortcuts. But where you are supposed to be smart, you need to be smart. there's a difference between shortcut and smartness. It is also there. For instance, when it comes to business registration, shortcut is that you go and fabricate a business registration document. You can send it to some institution that they don't verify. That is a shortcut. But smartness here means that you need your registration to be done within a day. It is not shortcut. It will be done for you legally. And it is called prestige. It's a prestige service. So even though it is done within the shortest possible time, it's not a shortcut. Just that you are going to pay a very huge amount for that. The third thing, which is my personal advice, is that always uphold your integrity. And for me, I have my ethical standard that even with our consulting firm, there are some businesses that we don't consult for, because once we consider it illegal, no matter how much you are willing to pay us, we don't consult for you. And that is, you need to build your own ethical values. Avoid criminal things. Don't be scamming people. Don't take people money and then you won't do the work. If you know that you cannot do it, don't take the money. If there is something, there is a delay in it, communicate, because we are doing, business online and people don't see you. So the issue of them losing their trust is very high. And you may want to be very responsible in dealing with that. Build trust and credibility among your stakeholders. And the last thing that I will leave you with is always seek professional advice. Anytime we hear this, people think that we are referring to me as a business professional. No, all of us here, let me see how many are we now. I think the last time we are 24. We are all professionals. Just that our profession differ from one person to another. So I'm a business professional. You may be a health professional. You may be a communication professional. So at any time that I need a service, that you are the professional, I come to you and then you give me the guideline. That is what it means. So let us prioritize going for professional advice. A lot of people doing business here in Ghana, they think that once I have money, then I'm going to do business. No, it goes beyond that. I always give this example. Let's assume that you are a nurse, or let's say midwife, and then you go to school for the 4 years, you were learning midwifery, how to assist in delivery and whatever it means. At the same time, another person also went to school to study business for 4 years. So the same way that business person cannot assist somebody with delivering a child, that's the same way you too cannot assist when it comes to business. It may sound common. Business there is all about money. If you want to do it well, you need to seek professional advice. Thank you so much for your audience. And then, it has been introduced earlier, I'm the lead consultant at ABC, I head business consult. And these are some of the services that you can rely on us for. When it comes to business idea development, we can assist you. When it comes to business plan development, we can assist you. When it comes to business growth strategies, we can assist you financial management advisory. We can assist you marketing strategy, being it traditional or digital. We can assist you regulatory compliance advisory, like what we are doing now. We can assist you. When it comes to entrepreneurship training, whether for your church, for any group, we are ready to assist you. And even with your business registration, we are ready to assist you. So you may want to contact us on any of this. We are always on the social media or on the internet. Once you are connected to the internet and you type ABC Ahead Business Consult, you will rightly find us there, or you can take our contacts and then you may want to reach out to us. Thank you so much. This is where I will bring my presentation to the end. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bless. Thank you very much. Hello.
Yeah, Sammy, I think we cannot hear you. I don't know if I'm the only person. We've lost Sammy, so
I think I can also not hear him. Let me reach out, but I'm supposed to be next in line for the presentation.
I think you can continue, or we can be taking the questions while we wait for him. Any of the two should be okay for us.
Yeah, I think we should do the questions for you while we wait for him so that we can clear that bit.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think Precious Abby, you raised your hand. I don't know if your question has been answered. Since you have raised your hand from the beginning, we may want to start with you.
Yes, please. Thank you. I wanted to know that if I register my business under sole proprietorship and I want to change it, and is it possible, or once that is registered under it, nothing can be done about it?
Okay, thank you so much. Everything about business registration is flexible. You can change everything, practically everything. In fact, you can even change the ownership. You can decide that I'm transferring ownership from Precious to Bless. You can change the business name. So if you are operating a sole proprietorship and you get to a point that you want to change it or convert it to any of the types, you are permitted to do so. The only thing is that you cannot be holding on to it. So for instance, if you have Precious Abbey Enterprise as sole proprietorship and you want to convert it into, let's say, a company, and it has become Precious Abbey Enterprise Limited, the first registration, which is the sole proprietorship, will be cancelled. So the document will be taken from you, it will be submitted, and it will be cancelled from sole proprietorship, and it will be converted to the type of the structure that you want. So yes, it is convertible, and anything at all, any change at all, any information at all that you provide, it can be, amended. And let me also add, maybe to answer questions that may come up. If your documents are missing, the work does not come to an end. You can always call for reprint. It comes at a cost. As many times as your business documents are missing, please go there, they will reprint for you. And any change at all that you want to make, no matter how big or small, they can make it for you. Just that some of the changes, especially with companies, there are terms and conditions associated with it. Thank you so much. I'm sure I'm able to answer your question.
Thank you too. Thank you so much.
Good. Do we have any other person?
Yes,
if you have any question. Okay.
Myself. Let's say there's an NGO registered and licensed, registered by ORC, licensed by MPO, and you receive your license to operate as an orphanage. Now you look at your model and it's not sustainable. You have multiple structures in place, but you want to transition from this orphanage model into a group model. What is the way forward? If you transition, would you have your certificate, taken from you, or you first have to do some adjustment before you go back to MPO?
Okay, that's good. So when it comes to company, we have two types: company by share and by guarantee. So by share, they have the same. They are in the same category. By guarantee, they are in the same category, except cases where you decide to use some names, for instance, foundation, association, to qualify the exact thing that you are doing. That one, there is an issue with the name. But once it's company limited by guarantee and it falls within the same category, you just get the ending LBG or limited by guarantee. You have two options. You can decide to totally switch from one to another, or you can decide to add it. So if you are into orphanage and now you want to say that you want to add foundation to it, you can do that. It is permitted. It is only restricted if your name is restricted to the service that you are offering. Other than that, you can add as many as you want to add. The second thing is that you can change totally. You can say that I'm not taking care of orphans again. I'm going to do charity. You are permitted to do. In that case, what will change is the business activities and not necessarily the name. But if you have the desire to change the name, it is your name. You have the right to change the name. I don't know if I'm able to answer it well.
This is answered. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have, is it Bolton? I'm not good at mentioning names, so please permit me. You can ask your question.
Yes, Bolton Freeman. Yeah, thank you so kindly for the lecture. My question has to do with on the third to the last when it talks about contract and agreement, where it talks about the importance of writing contract. I got that we talked about key elements of contract, often acceptance, consideration, capacity, legality. Well, my question is on protecting your assets. When it talks about protecting the assets, is this something that probably the business got to insure all of the business assets, or what is it like?
Bolton, I don't know if I'm the only one who struggled to hear you, but I struggle to hear you. I don't know if somebody can hear him better and can rephrase his question for me, or if you can reposition yourself. I hardly hear you.
Hello. Are you getting me now?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay, thank you. I was saying when you talks about contract and agreement, where you mentioned about importance of contract or written contract, key elements of contract that has to do with often acceptance, consideration, capacity, legality. The third area that you mentioned about protecting the assets. I want to know, is this something that a business person, a business owner have to probably engage with an insurance company to insure all of the business assets, or what is it like?
Okay, so protecting your assets has to do with if you want to protect your trademarks, your trade. You know that now when we see an image of looking like a man with a bow tie, we all know that it's KFC. It has been it's their brand. They have protected it. There are so many brands that when we see, we can identify with it. So now it is your responsibility. If you think that the logo that you are using, you don't want anybody to tamper with, you have the right to go and register. Now, this is not mandatory. That's why I mentioned that it's an advanced legal form. It is not mandatory. It is not mandatory that you should do that. But when it comes to you going international, and it comes to you going to, let's say, FDA and Ghana Standard Authority to take your business to another level, then you may want to go and do that. It is not a requirement. And then when it comes to trade secrets and all those kind of things, some people decide not to even register their trade secrets. Their trade secret is in their mind. So people say that Coca-Cola and Pepsi, for so many years, when you still drink, you see that there's a difference. And that is their secret. It is in the taste and it is in how they are mixing it. So yes, if you want, you can go. It's also at the Registrar General's department. There is a department specifically for that. You can register your trademark, but it is not a requirement that you need to register before you sign agreements with anybody or enter into contract. It is not a requirement. Please let me know if I'm able to answer your question.
Yes, thank you. Another one quick. So concerning
thank you very much.
So if for example ABC the trademark, your consultancy trademark, I want to or someone want to do similar thing and they haven't seen your trademark and they just envision developing certain trademark as yours, and probably the color might not be the same. For example, you got I think green and maroon. Probably they use different color, but it's the same symbol. So is it something that you can sue them for?
Okay, so now the logo.
So, Mr. Bless,
yes, please.
sorry, I had a little challenge with my network.
Okay.
And I'm back now. So if you'll be pleased, you hold this question, we move on to the program. And after the program, when we are asking the other questions, you answer his question as well.
Okay, that's fine. So in this case, I'll just advise that please write your button,
Yes,
and then
please.
I think John Elson, just write your question down. When it is time for questions, I will be glad to respond to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And family, forgive me. I have a little problem with my Wi-Fi, which made me exit the group. I'm trying to join, so I have to get the orange Wi-Fi rather to be able to join back. Pardon me for the inconveniences. Now, I will say thank you, Mr. Tettey Odjao, for the wonderful presentation. I believe we have all taken our parts, and we have learned a lot from him. If you have not learned anything at all, I believe you have taken some commandments. Thou shalt not do anything illegal when it comes to business. Thou shalt not do nothing by shortcut means when it comes to startup. Build credibility and trust if you are seeking for long-term success in your business. A lot we have learned, and we will move on to the second speaker for the day. Please, are you hearing me?
Yes, please.
Thank God. So our next speaker is speaking to us on the subtopic scaling through the gig economy, harnessing flexible work for growth and sustainability and stability, scaling through the gig economy, harnessing flexible work for growth and stability. And the person who is handling this topic is nobody but a young man, a youth who is a youth policy advocate, leadership strategist, and a social impact entrepreneur who is passionate about youth development, governance reforms, and international policies. He is the managing director of Youth Development Project Ghana, who is the one hosting us for this wonderful program. He is a policy, programs, and advocates director at the Oceanic Movement International, while also serving as the business development executive and youth engagement lead at CTL, Center of Transformation Leadership Africa. He has led key initiatives such as the National Position Paper on enhancing Ghana's led policy for youth inclusive growth, and hosts Step Up Talks, a bi-weekly digital series on youth empowerment and development. His leadership journey spanned from governance, finance, and civic engagement. And he continues to inspire young people towards national development and sustainable impact. He is a young man with vision, and I bet you in 10 years' time, if you see this man as 10 to 20 years' time, if you see this man as the president of the Republic of Ghana, you shouldn't be surprised. This is nobody but a brother and a senior, Gideon Degbe. Mr. Gideon Degbe, you're welcome.
Thank you
Please
very
speak.
much for the intro. Anytime somebody introduces me to a group of people, I start laughing. The way he goes beyond. Anyways, thank you, Sam, for the introduction and bless. This was excellent. This was really, really excellent, and I am really I have learned, even though it's a space I have been reading and learning myself, I have learned some new things. And thank you for the opportunity. Hi, Edward, you are distracting us. If you could mute. Thank you. My lightning, I don't know if you can see me well, but I think it's good. Now, Sam was introducing me and he said all that he will say about me. What he didn't say about me is that I am also an AI trainer, specifically in prompt engineering. So we teach people, or I teach people, how to command the AI do exactly what you want it to do, give it the exact information you require from it, and then it will give you what you want it to do. So that's what Sam did not add. But today we are my session. I'm going to talk about the gig economy. I know I hate it from you, but that's fine. We are going to talk about the gig economy and how entrepreneurs and business owners can take advantage of the gig economy. It's an entire system built that is taking over the world now. And so after you have registered your business, you want to start a business, you have gone through the registration, you have pinned down your ideas and everything is in process. They are done, you've consulted, and now you have started. Now you get to a point you don't have the resources to hire all the people that you want them to work for you. What do you do and how do you go about it? Now, this is going to give you some basic insights about the gig economy and how you can take advantages of how it will help your businesses. Now, so these are the things you are going to expect. What is gig economy? The groups in the gig economy, who are the key players, and then what drives gig economy, and then the benefits and opportunities within that economy, strategies for harnessing the gig economy for growth, and then also challenges and risks in the gig economy, sustainability consideration and actions and steps for young entrepreneurs. And then we'll do our takeaways and then we'll be done. So I'm going to share a brief video with you, and then it's going to give a description of, this is an AI generated video, very brief, and you have to follow. I've made sure that it's within a certain minute, so it doesn't give a lengthy conversation, it cuts, but I believe that it will pass on the information I'm trying to do. So after it explains what a gig economy is, I'm not going to go back to explain much. I'll just pick the definition and then we'll proceed from there.
Please, is it only me? I can't hear the sound.
Yeah, same here, there's no sound.
All right. I heard some saying that he couldn't hear, but I believe everyone is heard it. If not, I think I would go back and play it. Otherwise, I'll have to do a manual.
There was
Yeah, I
no
think
sound.
some who are in the comment section say they can't hear.
Okay. All right. So do I have to play this again? Okay. Now.
So please try again and let's see if it will work.
Okay, let me just Hi, I believe you heard this one this time. If not, I'll have to do it manual. Can anyone confirm?
No sound at my end.
No sound.
Oh, then I think we've wasted a number of minutes on that. Well, then let me just take it manual. Gig economy simply means short-term flexible jobs that we do to earn income. Okay, short-term flexible jobs. The basic definition is short-term flexible jobs that we do to earn income. It's an individual. So now this diagram you are seeing on the screen, I believe you can see that is just a graphic representation or description of what a gig economy really means. Now, pick an individual, say John Elton. You want someone to to explain what um, uh, accounting standard means. You are a CEO of a company and you want someone to explain. You don't have a finance officer in your company. Now you want this now. Instead of employing somebody full time, someone has the skills. So you tell the person, gentlemen, I want you to explain this for me at this fee. And the person says, okay. And when I do 1 hour, I take this amount of money. When I do 2 hours, I take this amount of money. When I do 4 hours, I take this amount of money. Which one can you pick? You say, oh, I need something very detailed to help me make decisions for my investors and also board of directors. So I'll do 4 hours. There you go. So after 4 hours, you are done with the person. You're no longer in business with the person and it ends it. This is not a situation where you employ somebody to work for you from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So this is just a simple definition of what a gig economy is. It's simply, it's others would define it, which I believe that the definition goes beyond the platform, but others would define it as a platform that connects consumers and contractors or service providers. Okay, so you are looking for a service, you don't have the expertise, and you cannot pay somebody for maybe a full-time job. So you just want something short. You employ the person or you contract with the person does it for you, and you are done. And the platform connects you to those people. Okay, so this is the graphic representation. Say, for example, you're an Uber driver and someone is looking to go to Accra from East Legon. The person goes on the Uber app, gets, place an order, and then a ride comes. He goes wherever he's going, and he's done. He pays the person. That is a gig. It's gig for both parties, but mainly a gig for the rider who comes to pick you up. So that's how the economy works. Okay, that's simply how the gig economy works. And statistics recently is showing that the people that we are having currently under the gig economy is increasing, and eventually is going to battle the traditional employment system that we have. Now here's a few statistics I want to pinpoint with you really quick. There are figures, very huge figures. So these figures are coming from the World Bank and other research institutions that I was researching from. There's another, so they projected that the gig economy exceeded 1.5 billion. But this year, it should exceed 1.5 billion at the end of 2025. And then it's also accounting for 12% of the global labor force. So they are projecting that of all those working, of all those who are employed, the gig economy is projected to account for 12%. In others, it's projected to take about 15 to 27% of the global labor force. Now, the global economy size is also projected at 561,245.2 million USD in 2024. That is last year. In other research, I find that the market for gig economy was 1.7 trillion, but I did not use that here because I do not find other research guiding it or supporting that argument. So I cannot use that. But that is how huge the gig economy is becoming. That means that there are more and more people falling on gig works. And gig work simply is telling us people who are independent workers and not on full-time basis. Okay, so these are the statistics. So at your leisure, you can read through and you see the demographics. In Africa, it is currently it has 2% of the global revenue, and it's expected to expand at 16.9% compound annual growth rate. So that's what is expected to grow at the level. And these are just statistics to give you a brief idea about the growth at which the gig economy is moving, and also how we have to take advantage of the system. That these days, there's nothing that we have to leave without, they say what, don't leave any stone unturned. So there's nothing apologies. Where did you lose me? Hello?
Yes, hello. You
Yeah.
had asked for.
Was it for long?
No,
Not
no,
that
no.
long.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay then. So I'm sharing my screen back. Okay. So people discredit technology and advancement, but I want to tell you that anything that is given or anything that is discovered, let's take advantage of it. Earlier years, when the world was moving into industrialization, Africans rebelled. They were just looking and just enjoying slavery and all of that. And then other countries have developed and grown, and Africa is still the way it is. Now there's artificial intelligence, and everybody, especially the Ghanaian faculty are really fighting it for whatever reason best known unto them. But the thing is, whatever we have access to or discovered, we need to take advantage of it and grow with it, because that's the only way that we will also become relevant in whichever industry that we find ourselves. So take advantage of the gig economy. Whatever you learn here, do extra research, learn more about it, and take advantage of it, and see how long or how best it will help you in your business, in your daily life, and your skills. Even with your skills. Okay. So these are the statistics to guide you, going forward on how trying to present this. Okay, excellent. Okay. So groups, so there are groups in the gig economy. Okay, so there are several group of workers, and I'm going to debrief you. Now we have the free agents or the full-time gig workers. The free agents or full-time gig workers are mainly people who have dedicated themselves and say that, as for me, I can't work for anyone. I can't be anybody's 5 8 to 5 worker. I'm committed to myself, and I know that I'm very productive and I can work on my own and make money. So I'll do small contract jobs for other people and make money out of it. I don't want to work for anybody. A decision. So they are in it full time. So you notice that their friends, they don't go to offices, they don't go anywhere, but they get contracts. They are working, they are in a house and they are working for people. And they finish one work, they move to the another, finish another job, move to the other, finish another job. That is how the gig system, that is how the free agents operate in the gig economy. Now there's another group called the casual earners or part-time. These people already have jobs. They are in the 5 to 8, or probably some of them are doing, that's the 5 to 8, 8 to 5. Others are doing maybe 9 to 4. And they said, okay, yeah, so this is me. And I think that I'm earning quite good, but it's not enough. I just want to support myself a little bit with other things. So they, decide that, okay, have this skill, let me put it out there. Anyone who is interested in it can come and consult me and I'll provide the services. So even though they have full-time jobs, they still want to do, you want to give their expertise out and earn more or extra income from it. What we usually call the side hustle. Okay, so that's what these people are called, side hustle. They have a main hustle and they have a side hustle. So that is about the casual earners. Then we have the reluctant. These people, it's not like they want to do gig work anyways, but they don't have a choice. It's like they are waiting. Take it like this. An individual applies to work with Bank of Ghana. He applied last year and he was told that he will be called. He's been waiting and waiting and waiting. Every month he will call to check in and ask, please, I sent my application. You asked me to wait. You call me. I've not heard anything from you. And he gets an answer. Oh, we'll call you. Just hold on. So Bank of Ghana is the place that everybody wants to work. So he doesn't want to go to a different company and now Bank of Ghana calls him. So he's just there. And then he comes and says, okay, so while waiting for Bank of Ghana to call me to come and work full time, why don't I start, giving out my expertise and taking some money on the side whilst I wait for Bank of Ghana to come. The moment they get the offer from Bank of Ghana, they quit whatever they are doing, whatever contract they have, whatever people, whatever they are doing, they quit it. And then they enroll into this full-time employment. This is how these people are. They don't want to do the gig, they don't want to work in the gig economy, but situations or circumstances put them in that space. So they are just doing it temporarily. Then we have the financially strapped. These people don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anything to eat. They don't have anything. They don't have any money on them. The only thing they can do is that the gig economy. They have no option anywhere. It's just the gig economy. So these are the 4 main categories of groups, or say type of workers within the gig economy. Now, what I advise people to do, especially graduates who leave school, is that be part of the second group. Unless you have a drive that is extreme, that can make things happen on your own, choose the first one. But if you do not have the drive, use the second option. Okay. And if you're a business, we'll come to that, but if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur and you are looking for work to do, you can take advantage of both the free agent and the casual earners. In that, for the casual earners, some of them are already in the industry that you're operating. They have the experience. So this is best your option. They have the experience and they've been doing it. They've worked in the industry for quite long. They know the ins and outs. So when you consult them, it's quite easy for them to give you, some high-level expertise. That's why sometimes you see even bank managers, you see directors of, companies also being consultants. So you hear that this person is the managing director for, company ABC. But also when you check on his CV, he will say that I am a consultant, or I am a consultant, a policy consultant, or I am a business development consultant. That is why you see these people. They are, they have fixed job, but they're also doing casual, work. And so for businesses, these people are your best bet. However, there are some free agents who have also worked in the system for very long and can be very, very vital to your business. So if you are poaching, you just analyze whichever CV you get, and then you prepare your contract for whichever best suits your operations. Okay. Now we talk about who are the key players in the gig economy, which people move the gig economy. Now we're just talking about artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, we talk about these online platforms, we talk about Fiverr. I have a number of them. We talk about Fiverr if you want to work, we talk about Upwork. So last time I was on Upwork, and then how it works is that you register yourself, you put your profile, put your CV, and then you put something very little, more like a cover letter or a cover note in a particular profile session. And so when the person looking for services enters there and says that, okay, I'm looking for an accountant, your name is likely to pop up. And if what they are looking for describes your qualities and abilities, what they do is that they send you a note to send them a proposal, and then you charge a certain amount of money per hour. Some of them will give you a duration, a month duration, and say, okay, I need you to do this for me by 2 months' time or 3 months' time. And then when you are done, you make your payment, and that's the end of the business. Okay. There are other platforms that helps in project management. So you call Asana like this. For Asana, for instance, it helps you manage your project well. Maybe you're having a business conference from, it's going to be maybe 3 days business conference. What can you do? You want to make sure that all your business, your activities are properly lined up and planned so that you don't miss anything. Instead of doing it in Excel, or instead of doing it manually in paper or in Word document, Asana has a grouping for you. So you put, okay, I have this here tomorrow, and make sure that I consult all the contractors. Next time, I'm consulting all the production team. So you have all these things listed out, and then it will give you, weekly reminders or daily reminders as to how you do it. And it helps you plan how to go about it. So these are some of the platforms for gig economy, and they help you, thrive and survive. Now, over there, you don't need to shout, you don't need to, what should I put it? Move from office to office. You are just there, set up your profile, and then someone would be able to identify you based on the qualities or what they are looking for. And then you are good to go. Then we have the independent contractors, the freelance and the gig workers. We just spoke about the types of workers. So I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go deep into that. By independent contractors, we are simply talking about individuals not attached, the full-time agent, the full-time or free agent. And then you can also talk about the part-time. Okay. And then we talk about business and organizations. Now, business and organizations, we are talking about corporates, SMEs, and every individual that contracts these independent contractors. So this is how it works. For business and organizations, when they are looking for services and they do not want to go full-time, they go to point 2, which is independent contractors, freelancers, and gig workers. They look for these people to do the services for them. But for online platforms, independent contractors and freelancers go there, register themselves, put their names in there, and wait for people to look for them. Okay, just as you have for Uber. Uber has people registered in their system. So if you, a consumer, is looking to travel, all you need to do is that go into the system, look for whoever is going to wherever you are going, and they take you to your place. So that's how the gig economy works. Okay, so it connects. It really connects and maps to each other. Okay. All right, then we move to the drivers of the gig economy, our technological advancement. Today, I was just mentioning that you don't go to office. Straight away, if you need anything to be done, all you need to do is that register in a software or in a technology, say Fiverr, or you look at Upwork, and you're in there, whatever you need, either you need strategy, you need a business plan, you need whatever, you just go into that system and you set up your profile, and they'll connect you to whoever is suitable for whatever services you are looking for. And boom, you get your services depending on the agreement. Now, one thing that I did not say earlier is that these platforms, especially the foreign ones, also respect tax laws. So you must first be registered, you must first have a tax registration number and also be registered. If you want to work for people outside Ghana, you're in Ghana, you want to work for people outside Ghana, you need to have a tax identification number. There's a name they call it, from that country. And then you'll be able to work. Otherwise, or your country has to issue, I think when Senior Benson comes on board, I mean, maybe he will be able to, explain that a little bit, but that is it. You need to have your tax identifications ready, and you need to be prepared for this thing, because some platforms charge taxes for whatever earnings you make, just like we pay income tax here in Ghana. Okay. So now changing workforce preferences, like everyone these days, most people are not concentrating on full time. So others are looking for, I want to be independent. I want to have time to go out. I want to go and I want to go to the beach, and I want to go anytime I want. So because of some of these preferences, people don't want to work full time. So it's making the gig economy, expand. So these are some of the things that is making the gig economy grow. And for instance, I was one time I was in a seminar. I think one of the seminars recently I had, I was just saying that these days, the young people that we have come, we are not patient. We do not want to take time to grow in a certain area. All we want to do is that we are done, we get it, and we move. Okay. If you are such the gig economy, that, okay, I just want to be an entrepreneur. I just want to be my own boss and work for myself. So I'm not going to work for any company. I just want to learn a trade, open a business, and start operating. This also contribute to the expansion of the gig economy. Okay, that is why it is growing day in, day out. Then we have economic factors. Economic factors simply refer to situations that happen in the country that, economic situations that happen that move individuals to, do other things, especially when it comes to work. So if there's high inflation, you're working for a company from 8 to 5, there's high inflation, and then the company does not increase your salary to meet this inflation crisis. What do? You start to look for alternative income sources. And so it then puts you into the gig economy category. Then you fall within the second category, which is the part-time, although because you're having your full-time and you're also looking to do a side hustle. So that is about that. That is about the economic factors, some of the economic factors. I mean, this is not all, but this is inclusive. Sometimes government we have put a ban on employment. And so for like the next 1-2 years, government is not employing anybody into the government industry. So if the private sector is not recruiting, that means that the government industry, young people are not having jobs. So an alternative. So some of these factors contribute to the expansion of the gig economy. And this one is important to you as a corporate and as an individual, so that you know where you map and how you can take advantage of systems, especially as and when they happen, and your interest as well. Then we have the benefits and opportunities within the gig economy. So now for businesses, it provides access to a vast pool of talent on an as needed basis. Okay, as needed basis is sometimes you do not have the resources. Say you've started a business, Bless took us through how you start a business and keep all the registration and everything active. You have this business going, yet you do not have the resources. You are 1 year into your business and you're okay, I'm doing well. I think I want to expand. I need a marketing expert. Now, you do not have the money to recruit a full-time marketing expert. As a business, what do? You contract someone to work for you for about 5 months, and you pay the person. It's a contract, which is why Blaise talk about contract. As a business and as an individual, take your contract seriously. I've done a few deals with Blaise, and he said, Charlie, let's put this in documents. Let me have it written and signed so that we know what we are doing. This is not to intimidate anybody, but this is so that anytime you make reference, you know that this is what I told him, this is what we agreed on, this is what we discussed, and this is what we are doing. So assuming that you need a marketing expert to do marketing for you, and you end up seeing that your name is attached to certain services that you don't produce, how would you feel? Now, if that is destroying your image and you don't have any documents supporting your argument, you cannot see such a person. And before you know, you just destroyed your brand. Okay, so I had an encounter. One of my brother was looking to purchase a vehicle, but this work and pay. So I went with him as a guarantor. We went to the location, and the guy said, well, when we did the marketing, we said we really needed drivers. So if you are already working, he was an immigration officer. He is an immigration officer. He said, if you are looking to get and pay later, I mean, you are not a driver, so we cannot give you. Then I was pissed because it is the person you contracted. You asked the person to do an advert, and the person is misleading the people that are, taking the information. You don't allow somebody to travel all the way from wherever they are to come to your office before you tell them that we are looking for only drivers. Okay, so whatever it is that the business owner communicated with the marketer, there's a gap. And so even if he has a problem, it is tarnishing his, because anybody in a serious country, you can be sued for misleading. Okay, so if anybody takes this up to court and says that this person has wasted my precious time or whatever time and has, stressed me and given me whatever, mental whatever, and he says no, and then the person, the business owner who contracted the marketer can be in trouble, provided he has not gone into a contractual agreement with the marketer to specifically state to him that I want you to state that we are looking for only drivers. Now, if he does not have that, he can be sued, and there's nothing he can do to support himself. So that is how it works. So make sure that when you are going in for gig workers, you have contract lined up. And if you're a gig worker, make sure that you have your contract signed so that you know what is expected of you and what is also expected of the business owner. It also enables businesses to scale operations quickly and efficiently. You don't have to wait to go through all the boring or tedious recruitment processes. All you need to do is that find a platform, look for the best person that matches, they'll do the work for you and you move. Okay, because then if you are going to recruit person to be a full-time worker, you're going to go through the, how do you call it, the recruitment processes. Some people take more than 6 months to be able to employ people. Okay, so you scrap all these things off. And then it also fosters innovation through gig platforms. So the gig workers are able to do some, sometimes they say, what about we try it this way? You have an idea of what you want to do. A full-time employer will just do it the way you want to do it. But a gig employer knows that there are other ways to do it. So they bring it to your business, they consult with your business, they do it to your business, and they do it with your business, and then you know that you're going through. Okay, so that is also some benefits that business flexible, scalable workforce. So you have access to a large number of workers, just as I stated for the other business. It's basically the same, but also lower operational cost. You have ability to test, pivot, and expand business models quickly. So you are doing one business, you try other ways on the digital platforms. Okay. Now, harnessing strategies for the gig economy. We have one, building hybrid teams. So if you don't have enough resources, just employ 1 or 2 people, and the rest you can source from external platforms. So you need to outsource non-core business functions. So if it's not an accountant, it is even accountant these days can work virtual. Okay, there are some specific areas in the businesses that you can consult that you don't necessarily have to, employ. Then you also need to leverage the digital platforms. Register for Upwork and Fiverr and all those platforms. And anytime you need anything, just put the request there. And before you know, you have somebody giving you the services. You also need to collaborate. Once you get the people working for a network with them, get to know them so that anytime you need help, they are there to support you. Okay. I'm going towards the end of the session. So setting clear contracts and expectations is what I mentioned earlier. So this ensures stability so that nobody comes in and say other things that you have not. And then in the end, you end up destroying your brand. So you also need to maintain quality control and accountability. Make sure you spell out exactly what you want or you expect from the person. And then they will give you exactly that. So you need to balance flexibility with consistency in operations. So don't say that because I am taking gig or expertise from outside person, you don't really mind with how they do the work. No, you must be intentional about your business operations and make sure that it follows as though the person doing the gig work for you is part of the company. Okay. So you integrate gig workers into long-term business strategies. Yes, this is to keep them and make sure that your business does not, suffer any labor gaps. See, so what are some of the challenges? Worker reliability and commitment issues. So this is clear and self-explanatory, but also goes back. It is one of the reasons why you need to get contracts really spelled out. Then we talk about legal and regulatory uncertainties. Okay, so the gig workers are not tied to any legal regulatories. So what you need to do is that, again, your contracts. And because with the contracts, that's the only way you can have anybody bind and sued if they destroy your brand or if they do anything against your business. And like Bless said, businesses are artificial humans or artificial bodies. You cannot afford to destroy your brand. Otherwise, in the end, before you know, you yourself, you are not in the system. So make sure you protect your brand and your business. So you need to get potential quality assurance problems. That is also there, but you also need, so everything is about contracting. So spell out everything well, and then in the end, you know that everything would work out for you well. So sustainability considerations, how gig supports led business. I think I've mentioned this in some of the slides. So just take advantage of the platforms. If you're an accountant or if you're businesses, you just take advantage of QuickBooks. I know Benson is an expert in the area, it's a trainer. Take advantage of all the platforms, okay? Asana, you come to Upwork, you come to Fiverr, all these platforms are there to help you, to sustain, because anytime you need the services, you have someone ready to give you the support. So you need to create inclusive opportunities for other young people. Now, one reason why we are also holding the Quick Learn, Quick Earn training, especially this webinar, is for you to understand the nature of business and how they operate and how you can transition from just learning to creating a business, a sustainable one, and how you can also employ others and change the community and the space around you. Okay. So you need to create opportunities for other people to also benefit. Now, we also encourage you, if you're a business owner, pay well. Pay well. Okay, pay well. There's a story I have, but I'll not say it. I've said it all the time. That I've seen a number of it, but this time I will not say it. Maybe another time. Then we have what are the steps for youth entrepreneurs? How do we start integrating the gig strategies? Like I think we've mentioned a few. Some of these points are interconnected. So I'm skipping that. We've mentioned a number of them. But first, you need to identify, let me just say this, to be able to integrate this into your, your work structure, you need to identify what you need. Make sure that whatever you're doing is not a core business component within your organization. If it is core, you need to find someone to be there full time. So for gig, it means that if a business and you're looking for a gig worker, it means that the service you're looking for is very important, but you don't need a full-time person to handle it. Then you can go for that. But if it's a very, especially if you're a limited liability company, you need an accountant. You don't have somebody sitting in their house and doing it for you. You will not get the proper finances you need to run your organization. Okay. So I've mentioned a number of tools and platforms for you. And then let me also mention that the role of mentorship in training a network is very important for anyone to survive in the gig economy. Whether you want to work in the gig economy as a full-time or you're a business looking to get individuals from the gig economy, you need to network and get to know people. Okay. Now, here are my takeaways for you. And I think these are just clear. So embrace innovation. I told you earlier on that when AI came, people are starting to fight it, but we want to encourage everyone to embrace it. And also leverage the technologies available on the internet. So the future of these businesses lies in our hands and lies in starting now. So growing and being sustainable also depends on you. It also depends on how you take advantage of the systems that have been created for you. So thank you for your time. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you have been well impacted. Thank you once again for your time.
Wow. Indeed, in about 40 minutes, we learned, and that is a quick learn. And I believe this is going to help us earn quick for the rest of our life if we will put this into practice. Mr. Gideon, thank you very much for this wonderful session with you.
Thank you too.
I hope everybody can hear me clear.
Yes, please.
So,
yes, please.
we thank you, team, for being with us through the session. We are gradually progressing, and with no time, we will be at the final point. If you eat your mother's soup, you see that the under where the fish and other things deposits, there you get the more sweetness. So we landing little by little. I know you have your questions, but as discussed, please put the questions down. In about 30 minutes time, you'll be asking those questions. We are moving to the final part with a subtopic, managing business finance for profit, efficient, and growth. Managing business finances for profit, efficiency, and growth. And we have a friend and a brother who is handling this most powerful topic under the Quick Learn a Quick Earn webinar. This brother is a chartered accountant with over a decade of experience in financial management, taxation, corporate strategy, and internal controls. He is the financial controller at the VAR Real Estate Ghana Limited and the country manager for the Biso Group, formerly MYV Enterprise, where he provides financial leadership, compliance oversight, and strategic guidance. He has held senior roles at Consa Limited, PIMSA Microfinance, and Aura MC Group Limited, excelling in financial reporting, tax compliance, and risk management. He is passionate about capacity building, and he also teaches at Heritage Christian University, handling corporate reporting at the professional center, where he used that to prepare students for ICAJ professional exams. He is an award-winning graduate of Heritage Christian University College, who has recently completed his studies in Masters of Science in Accounting and Finance, while advancing qualifications with the Institute of Chartered Taxation Ghana, CIMA, UK. He is also a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor. He is renowned for his financial expertise and mentorship. He is dedicated to empowering businesses and young professionals with the tools for financial growth and sustainability. If you ask me to describe this man for you in a phrase, I will tell you he is a humble God finger for all mankind. This person is nobody but Brother Stephen Benson. Mr. Stephen Benson, my good brother, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, my brother and a colleague, Sambo Chilasi, for the opportunity. I'm grateful. I must say I was very surprised and speechless whether you are referring to someone else until you call my name. Good afternoon to you all, colleagues, brothers and sisters on this call this morning or this afternoon. I am grateful to be here. Let me use this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers of this webinar. Thank you for this great initiative. Assemble able-minded entrepreneurs who want to upscale their business from one level or the other. And again, let me sincerely also recommend my senior men, we call them the cupbearers, who has gone ahead of me. In fact, I don't know whether I still have a word to share because they have done extensive work. They are making my work so difficult for me, but then I'll tiptoe on what they have shared and also add something a bit. Colleagues, permit me for us to have a clear session, uninterrupted. If you permit me not to share a video so that we don't have breakages. If that is fine, and I know colleagues will permit me not to share my video so that we can have uninterrupted session. If that is accepted, please can you hear me? I want
to. Yes, please.
All right. Thank you so much. Like I said, my two senior able men has already gone ahead of me. So let me see what I can do within this short time frame. So the topic that was given to me to handle is about managing business finances for profit, efficiency, and growth. Every organization wants to grow, but we have two types of growth, whether you are growing internally or we are growing what externally. But this afternoon, our focus is going to be only shifted on profit efficiency growth. It means that we are considering internal growth. And the organization that sets out today, every day they want to put up a branches to get close to the customers. But without accessing some key tools or some key strategies, whether they can do that within that time frame, whether they are locking their capital, and capitals I'm talking about, I'm not talking about structure as a capital, I'm talking about the working capital and other cash flow requirements as a tool. Permit me to say that by the end of this discussion, colleagues who are business-minded people on this call will be able to know why financial management is a lifeline for business SMEs. Here we are talking about the small and medium-scale enterprises. And again, we'll be able to know some key financial terminologies practical for Ghanaian businesses. And again, how we are going to be able to manage our cash flow, tools, scenario-based, and solutions that are proposed not extensively, at least as a guide to take you through. Then the fourth one, how we are going to secure funding, tools, scenario-based, and solutions. You can only secure fundings when certain things are done well. We're going to look at some types of fundings that are available for you as an SME, and also be able to understand some optimized financial strategy for scalability. And again, the voices of some Ghanaian youth entrepreneurs, lessons that you can learn from, and the quotes that they have made. Some practical cash flow tools, step-by-step guide what demonstration. And again, we're looking at some common financial pitfalls and remedies. Why some businesses are failing? What are some of the things that they are doing, and where you can avoid? Or if you are still doing that the same, remedies available for you, and some profit efficiency framework that are available. 5 steps in all for growth. Here again, I emphasize that we are not talking about external growth. An interactive group case discussion or group study for youth SME financial rescue, and a wrap-up session or a reflection or challenges. If there's any other question or contribution after the session, then you can have that from here. Please, do I have your attention to proceed after the table of contents has been duly discussed?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so the first on our session, we are talking about why financial management is a lifeline. You know, there are something what we call molarity in every business, and it is not with exception with SME. We can attest that there are research that have been done by so many people. One of such research was done by Banfo in 2024, which says that over 65% of youths own businesses in Ghana fail within the first 5 years. Within the first 5 years. I don't know colleagues who have joined the call, how many years have you been in business? If you are within the business for 3 years, you have not gotten to what Banfo was talking about. You could be doing better in the 3 years session. If you're able to cross these 5 years and you are still within the business, that is what we call that we are past that test. Cash dominance. Also research done by World Bank in 2023 made to understand that most of the Ghanaian businesses, especially the 70% of Ghanaian SMEs, operate within what? Inadequate cash flow planning. And if you have inadequate cash flow planning, that is what is coming into your business and what is going out of your business, then you are definitely bound to fail. Most of the people cannot distinguish a profit, which is a paperwork, from what you call cash flow. your inflows and your outflow. You could be getting a lot of profit. Your profit margin can be like 50,000. This is my profit on paper. This is what I bought the items as such, and I sold it as such, and I've subtracted all my expenses from it. And here I'm seeing a profit of 50,000. Hey, this business is lucrative. But why are you not able to pay your debtors as and when they fall due? Why are you always postponing them if you have that profit? Let's proceed. Inflation, again, is a persistent increase in the general price level of goods and services. And again, the research done by BOG was that inflation is a disturbance tool, which in 23%, inflation is hovering around in 2024, hovering around 23%, where businesses who has no structure, thank God, my brother Bless spoke about structure. So when an inflation is hovering around 23%, and businesses who have not without adequate structure in terms of financial planning loses profit efficiently, loses profit because gradually there are inflation. Here in current trend in Ghana 2025, inflation is a bit lower than before, but then we still have our people who are refusing to reduce the prices of commodities. We look at the growth linkage also. When you have a well-structured budget and financial review report, it could indicate that within 30 to 40%, you will have a higher group than those that don't have a clear structured budget or financial planning. So you can ask yourself that why are these businesses growing so faster internally? It's because they have maintained a structured budget and a financial review report. They review whatever financial. It's not about some of us that say that have a profit of 50,000. You don't do other reviews to see if that is realistic or not. Youth content. Only 27% of Ghanaian youth entrepreneurs keep formal accounts. So how many percentage don't keep formal accounts? Please, this one is simple mathematics. 100 minus 27. We are all youth here, and the research is saying that only 27% of Ghanaian youth entrepreneurs keep formal accounts. So ideally, 73% don't keep formal account. Hence, the reason why you see a lot of collapse, where Bless and my able brother and a friend, a senior, Gideon also spoke about. This is something I want to ask you, maybe when you progress, as you think about it. For instance, if your 3 top customers, every business has some 3 best customers. Assuming today all your 3 best customers, they delay in paying you. They ask you that they will pay you in 2 months' time, and after 2 months, they delay in paying you. You don't receive the money. Will your business still survive, or your business will still collapse? Because mind you, your business is only linked to only 3 of these customers. And in 2 months, they have not paid you. What will be the survival or the growth of your business? Or will your business fail, or your business will still pass the time? We want to just explain some key financial terminologies. When we talk about cash flow, what's the meaning? In simple put, we are talking about monies that they are coming into your business and money that they are going out. And how do you monitor and ensure that their sustainability, what is due to pay, you have money to pay at that time. Here, the need for what you call the budget analysis, either rolling budget or rolling cash forecast, and we will talk about it as we progress. And again, for instance, a market woman or an entrepreneur at Mokola, and he has earned 25,000 monthly, but most of the chunk of his money is on credit base. he has sold to people. You know, you can sell either for cash or on credit, and your customer will either pay you later. So let's say Auntie Mansa has sold 25,000 to somebody. 50% of that money is in arrears. Ideally, we are talking about either 12.5, which you have received physical cash. But then you have to pay a supplier, which he has supplied you that goods, worth 60,000. How will you go about that? He said you have a lot of profit. Convert your profit into cash and now pay this person. This is where the problem lies in most of the enterprises or the youth businesses that we propose some able solutions to that. So when you progress, you understand. What is working capital? Working capital is basically your current assets. Current assets, we are talking about your stock. Your stock is the same as your inventories, your receivables, your cash and cash equivalents. When you add all those together and you subtract your working current liabilities from it, we are talking about those that you own, whether creditors, whether rents, whether salary which has not been paid. You subtract it from it. Are you looking is it a positive balance or a negative? If it's a negative, that means that as and when you need to pay people, you are not really liquid to pay them. So where another crisis also falls. So that is basically the meaning of what working capital. Here to look at a boutique in Osu who cannot restock. You need to go for goods, but he doesn't have money. All the money is in debt. He has sold, but it's not very physical. It's with the customers. And all of them has promised to pay in certain days, certain time. But another client also needs goods from you. How do you go about it? You don't have money. And when you buy, they also give you on credit that pay every 2 weeks this. And that's the case you have given to your customers, pay 1 month. If where you get your goods, they say pay 2 weeks, and you are giving 1 month, how then do you get the money ahead to pay them? That's where other problem also lies. So key also aspect of it is burn rate, how speed, the speed of fund usage. Money comes into your business maybe every 2 weeks, but you will spend every day. You spend every day. Every day you are paying somebody. Every day you are paying somebody. Meanwhile, it comes into your business either every month, every 2 months, or every 2 weeks. So a youth in fintech spend like 300,000 in a particular 6-9 months. When you don't keep these expenses on check, it will collapse your business. So we're talking about the capital, cost of capital. Because of the sessions you'll be going through, you're talking about the funding, how to raise funding. That is why I'm explaining all these key terminology, because you will use them in our subsequent discussion. You want to expand your business, and either you are using your profits written or something, and somebody will also choose that. I need a partner. Bless spoke about types of business. You have sole proprietorship, partnership, company. So if you want to adapt a company, it means that you are floating shares and you want people to join into your business. And with that, either the people becomes an ordinary shareholder or a preference shareholder. With a preference shareholder, you have to give that person a particular dividend in terms of percentage every year out of your profits that you make. So with that one, you call it, you can consider it as a debt or something. The person is not a true owner. But again, you can say that I want to borrow from a bank. So you are comparing, when you allow somebody to become an owner, you are diluting your capital. Somebody will also share part of the cream. As against, no, I don't need anybody, but I'm going for what? Funding from a bank. I'm going for a loan. You assess the borrowing rate. That's where the cost of capital comes in. How much is the bank giving me? Do I have that enough resources to be able to pay as and when they fall due? When I do analysis in terms of how much I'll be paying in total, and if I give opportunity to somebody to become either a partner or a business owner, a part of it, where the person gets 20% share and I get 80% share, which one is better? You do all those assessments before you just allow. You don't just allow to say that, oh, bring the money, and when everything comes, we share. Meanwhile, the person is what? Either a sleeping partner or a quasi partner. He has just allowed his money. You are running the business every day. You will fail. So example of what I'm giving to you, a bank loan is this, and where you are using it to set up a business. You have to consider a lot of things. Scalability is part of our discussion. Here we are talking about we are growing our revenue faster than our cost. If you want to scale, it means that you are either using your profits or internally to grow the business without necessarily expanding, creating more agencies, avenues. No. So example I give again is a ZPay. ZPay scale by leveraging digital systems rather than physical world branches. Now, everybody wants to do business in a digital world. My brother Gideon talked about the gig economy. He's talking about how you can even make use of digital platforms to make sure that your business travel beyond your locality. But again, our sisters and brothers want to do entrepreneurial business, and what they consider most is what? Physical branches, physical location, where they don't even have the gadgets, even if they have a physical location as a warehouse. And the gadget to do what? Marketing, online marketing, digital marketing, to promote their businesses so that even if they are at Amasaman, they can cut across all the regional centers we find ourselves in, even outside Ghana. So these are just the key terminologies. I don't want to bore you that much, but let's go to cash flow management tools. Cash flow management. How do you manage the cash flow? Benson is saying that there's a problem. Your profit is not the same as your cash flow. So how do we manage it? What are some of the tools and what are the scenario bases that are available for us to use as a guide? So you can manage your cash flow. The tools available is that you have to know, at least have what you call a 12-month rolling forecast. A 12-month rolling forecast simply means that from January to December, or if you are in August, you are having a 12-month rolling forecast from August this year up to next year, July. So every month, you know what is coming into your business. From who? Kojo Mensah, it is coming. When do I pay somebody? I pay this person this. I have to pay salary. I have to pay rent. I have to pay online marketing tools that I'm using. I have to pay this. At what point do you pay? When it subtracts, do you have enough money? You go to the next month. So all these are forecasts that you have done. So before you get to next month, which is September, you know that your cash that will be coming in, the cash that will be going out, whether it will be a negative cash flow, you have to look at alternative ways in which you have to get money to support. Before you are trapped, before you see the reality. So you have a rolling budget, a rolling cash forecast, which is 12 months. When you finish 1 month, you throw it away, and you know that you have another rolling over. So you roll over. When you finish this month, you throw that month away, you add another month ahead. Every session, you have a 12-month rolling forecast. Then, like I've spoken to you about, you have to have what? The receivable management. How are you receiving people that you own them, people that they owe you? How are you receiving your money from them? If you have given them 2 weeks, propose you pay your suppliers, propose you pay your people to also 1 month later, so that you have the money in before they call you for their money. So revenue receivable management, suppliers negotiation strategy, like I said, propose that you pay them 2 months when you are expecting 1 month from your receivable, those that you sold for. You have to have at least, every business, every entrepreneur here should ensure to have a cash reserve. That cash reserve should not be less than 3 to 6 months of whatever you need in your cash flow. So maybe in your cash flow, every month you need like 50,000. Ensure, or you need 5,000. Ensure that you have a reserve of 15,000. So that if even your customers who told you they will pay in 1 month and don't pay, you take from your reserve and to pay your suppliers in 2 months' time. So that when they pay, because I mean, eventualities are bound to happen. Emergencies. The supply says that you want to pay at this time. But at that time when he was about to pay you, armed robbers broke into a shop. Let's talk about risk management. Armed robbers broke into a shop or her shop and stole the money. What will you do? He has processed for insurance, but insurance are yet to compensate him or her. But how will you also pay? Will you go and tell your supplier that I beg one of my supplier, who is my key supplier, who is my key customer, I had this issue, please, can you postpone this thing to? No. Have a reserve so that you'll be able to pay your people as they want, as they forward you. Have a digital tracking system. And I heard my brother talking about QuickBook. We have Sage, we have Excel. Even if you cannot afford QuickBook, Excel application, you have advanced. You can build a structured model where you can give you a financial report. It's just a click of a button. You automate everything that will give you a real life situation of your business. A real life. Do away with manual, where when somebody asks you, can you give me, last month, how your business performed? I just want to put NG, you have seen an angel fund. Any investor wants to put something into, he said, give me, is it on your phone? Now you are going to tailor all the records in book. You have passed that level. So example I want to give you, I told you I'll be giving you a scenario base. So example I want to give you, I thank God that we have a versatile people joining us. Some are in Accra, some are in outside Accra. We have Kumasi, we have others who are joining the session. So for instance, we have agro-processing SME owner in this platform who is operating in Kumasi. And he earns, his monthly sales is 150,000. But again, look at what I have in bracket. 60% of these sales is on credit. It means that 150,000 you are seeing, it is a sales figure, but then only 40% has been paid with physical cash. Assuming the 40% that has been paid is only 50,000, assuming it is only 50,000, but your monthly cost is 100 and what? 40,000 to pay in this month. You have 60,000 as a physical cash that has been paid in your bank. That has been paid in your safe. You have to pay 140. How then are you going to pay this amount of money? That's where the cash deficiency comes in. And when there's a cash deficiency, a problem that occurs is what? It will deplete what? Profit. What is the solution? The proposed solution when we have these things is to reduce it, what? Introduce what you call early cash payment or discount. All those 60% that you give credit facility to, tell them that when you pay within this time, you take 5% out of it and pay my money and see whether they won't force to pay you. Again, you can have a negotiation with your suppliers that when you supply me today, I will pay you in 2 months' time. 60 days supply credit term. You give me the goods today, 2 months' time, I'll pay you. So supply all the goods, I'll pay you in 2 months' time. And you are also ensuring that you are putting measures in place to ensure that you get the money before 2 months' time. Again, you can also partner with some bank or financial institution when you have a bank account that has been created. My brother Bless talk about it. You have to have a personal bank account as coupled with your business bank account. Money goes to you, even the banks will chase you. So we have something called invoice discounting. A customer that's supposed to pay you, you can give that invoice to the bank, and the bank will give you money as a discount. If it is 5,000, the bank will say that their interest is 10% or 5%. They will give you 4,500 available cash, and they will take the invoice. So when the customer pay into your bank account, the bank will take the 5,000. Here they are making money available for you to what? Upscale, for you to what? Still be in operation, so that you don't be in cash trap. You can also build what you call the buffer cash reserves in the harvest season. In the harvest seasons, when your business is booming, it is not for chop. It's not for what? It's not for those things. No, save money in the dry season. The dry season I'm talking about when there's a cash trap. You can also adapt what you call the cash flow track for productive or proactive decision. A discussion that I want to leave you with as you go about it. What strategy will you adapt? First, if 60% of your clients pay later, they will pay you later. 60% is whooping amount of money. What strategy are available for you as a small entrepreneur? What strategy will you put in place to ensure that they pay? To also make money available. I've given you some of them, but what will you do? Currently, what are you doing? If you have given credit to people and 60% of your sales is in arrears, where you have to month ends is coming, you have to pay rent, you have to pay this. Will you allow your landlord, will you allow the space you have rented, will you allow Facebook to say that you have to pay as the month has ended, and you say that Facebook, can you give me another space for me to advertise my product so that in when my creditor, when my the clients pay me, I also pay you? No, you have to have a strategy. Funding. I was giving some teams to talk about. You have cash flow funding and how we are going to scalability of business. So funding, tools for funding, scenario-based and solutions. When you're talking about funding, it's about how to ensure that you are getting available money when you are cash strapped, when you want to upscale your business. Where do you get money from? I propose also 5 funding strategy. The first one is your retained earnings. Last year, you earned some amount of money as profit. Whether it is accessible or not is there. And then you can convert these profits into your operations. Why are you putting it aside? You can scale this retained profits, utilize it, plug back, put into your business again. That is one aspect of funding, how to secure funding. The next one is bank loan or bank overdraft. If you have a current account with any bank, and then your business is very viable when you are keeping proper record, and where at the end of every month or at the end of the year, you engage some form of auditors, somebody to come and audit, where you have your audited financial statement, you can enter into any of the banks that you are working with so that they will either give you a loan. Assess again, I told you, assess the what you are going to use that loan for, whether it's viable. I'll give you a scenario base and you understand. Either they will give you a loan or they will give you an overdraft. Overdraft simply means that you have 5,000 standing in your account. And because you have a trustworthy with the bank, all your financial records are very okay, the bank can allow you to withdraw 30,000. You have only 5,000. The bank will only allow you to withdraw 30,000 from your account. So the 25,000 is only overdraft. And either you'll be paying it at a bulk as a whole, or you'll be paying it small. Each month, the bank adds a small portion of interest into it for you. And hence, you can utilize that opportunity to secure funding for your business. Another one is angel investor. The angel investor simply means somebody is observing you as you are going about your business. And one day the person approaches you that I have some funding, I'm not using it for anything. And let me see how you do your business. Let me understand it. And even though I've watched it from afar, I want to understand it. The person, you explain to the person to say that I'm giving you this investment, I'm giving you this amount of money, trade with it, and at any point in time when I need it, I'll give you like 6 months ahead of time notice for you to give me. This angel investor have given you fund. What will you do? It's also part of what? Raising or securing funds. And we can talk about also government grants or NGOs grants. Somebody, organizations can place some money into your company, and the NGO mostly give you a task that employed local people, those living in your community, every month employ one person. If you are able to go by their strategy or the demands for the money, they will give you the money. Every month, employ one graduate in your area. Every month, employ one graduate in your area. And so this NGO is saying that they can give you funding, and the interest is 1%. But then the rule is that you are employing only one person at a time, or you are employing 5 people in a year. If you're able to employ 5 graduates in a year, then every 6 months they will push in 100,000, they will push in 500,000. These are also available funding for you to upscale your business. The last one we can talk about credits, trade credits. or hybrid of financing. Trade credit simply means that the supplier give you the goods. I've spoken about it. The supplier give you the goods, but you don't pay until what? 2 months time. So you don't need actual physical to start a business. You can, when you have a clear system strategies like my brother Bless spoke about, you can enjoy credit facilities and people supply you for free and then you pay. A lot of our sisters and brothers who go for China for goods. I once heard a story of Tekno. He said, look, the first thing he did is to send money to these people without knowing them and to send the phones. And after he did that, it was a risk that he took. After he did that, now Tekno in China send the goods without he paying. Now they have become a partner. The building at Dakuma, which is for Tekno, it will surprise you that it is a partnership that China had with him. Just one trustworthy open an opportunity for him just like that. So let's look at this scenario, a tech setup in Accra. A tech setup in Accra need 200,000 to upscale his business. Upscaling simply means that you operation your strategy, you ensure that you are growing. Every system is working. I'm not talking about expansion. Every system is working. So you need 200,000 for upscale. But the bank is ready to give you a loan for 18% per annum. But there's an investor that is also saying that he wants to become an equity shareholder and then you want to have a 25%, and you also have 75%. You assess, you don't say that, hey, Charlie, 25%, so the other one is 18, let me go for the 81, that is good. You assess a lot of things. You do calculations and see if the 18%, how much are you going to what? Pay to the bank every year in terms of the money we are giving to you. Assess that one in terms of your cash flow and your profitability and your liquidity and your efficiency level. Again, when the investor is also giving you 25% to become an equity shareholder, he is going to enjoy 25% and you enjoy also another percentage. You assess a lot of things, whether you want to dilute your shares. So you do a lot of assessment before you give a buy-in. Whether you want to go for the first one, being a bank loan, or you want to go for an investor, you consider all that. So possible solutions are proposed is that you assess the return on investment as against the repayments of the repayment schedule. What are the return on investment, the 25%, against the repayment of the loan? You assess that. You evaluate the investment, what the investor's strategy. Strategic what? Value beyond the capital. What is your strategy? What strategy, what mission your business is having, the objective your business is having? You have to assess all that and combine the loan as against the investment deal to balance the risks, And again, you apply what you call the grants for supplement. You can apply grant for supplement as I explained to you, then strengthen financial statement for what? Negotiation. I've spoken about some of these already. Your workshop is that you can draft a funding model for your setup. What funding model can you draft after this discussion? What funding model can you draft? I would ask you all to do so. Look at optimization for what? Financial strategy for what? Scalability. How are you going to optimize your financial strategy so that you can have scale? One, you can look at your budget with what? Multiple scenarios. What ifs analysis. You can use your Excel to do what if analysis. What if this happened? What if this happened? What if this happened? Your budget against the actual and say, what if this happened? What if this customer don't pay? Am I still able to do all these to ensure that you are what? Optimize your what? Strategies for scalability. Again, you can do what? Gross margin analysis. Your gross profit. Gross profit over sales times 100. How much are you getting? It means that when you subtract your cost of sales from the sales figure, the money available before expenses comes in this percentage margin. And mind you, if your expenses outweigh the gross profit, you are going to go as what? A net loss. You have to weigh all these, do cross and checks, assessing the gross profit margin as well. And you also look at what? The lean operation, cut down waste. Cut down waste. waste, something that is not profitable for your business. You cut down. You cut down. Along the line, you discover that when you progress, you discover that you have to separate your business bank or business expenses from your personal. Your child is celebrating his birthday, and you have linked it, your birthday expenses, to your business. That is waste. That is unrelated. No, have your personal against your business. You can also do what you call finance digitalization. Have what you call EPR systems. My mother talked about QuickBook. You can talk about a Sage. You can talk about the Excel applications. And you can what? Automate your financial operations. Automate them, paperwork reduce, and also ensure that there's a structured profit for what? Reinvestment. Another scenario I want to, zoom in. There are a lot of sisters and brothers on this call who are doing so many businesses. They are not doing only one type of product. They are doing all 2 or 3. And I'll ask you this question. For instance, we have a cafe in Osu, and the cafe in Osu is into coffee and it's into snacks. And the sales for the caffeine is 20%. The sales for the caffeine is 20%. The sales for the caffeine is 20%, and the sales for the snacks is also 15%. And the gross profit margin for the caffeine is coffee. For coffee is 60%. That means that for coffee is giving him 60% profit, even though the sales is 20%. And look at the sales for the snacks is 25%, but then the profit margin is 15%. If you are the one, what will you do? So the strategy I'm giving to you that we launched a coffee loyalty program. So our focus should be shifted from what? Snacks to coffee. So we launched a coffee loyalty programs, and we bundle the snacks into the coffee for higher margin. Again, we train the staff for upselling of the combo. We are blending them together. So train the staff to upscale the combo and also gradually reprice the snacks to improve the what? To improve the profit margin. And lastly, you can talk about reinvest profits into coffee to blow or to increase what? Expansion. What are some of the voices of Ghanaians youth entrepreneurs? They are saying that these are voices from our own people. They are saying that scaling is about structure, not what? Spend. When you want to scale, it's about structure. It's not about spending. And again, the other is that the number don't lie. If the books are empty, your dreams is what? Temporary. If your dreams is temporary, it means that your books are also what? Empty. Efficiency is discipline. Disguised as what? A profit. This is a sample one I've given to you as what they call cash flow budget 2. Your opening amount is this. Your inflow is 50,000, and your outflow is what? 40. So inflow against the outflow, it will have a positive balance of 5,000, and you add it to your opening balance, which is your what? 25,000. So ideally, you have a good cash flow system. September to you have a good cash flow system. October, good cash flow system. These are steps. You record your inflows and outflows. You identify deficit months and propose the ways in which you can raise capital to support that. You build reserves, as I spoke to you about. You adjust your spending in a deficit months, and also what? Forecast plan funding ahead. Common financial pitfalls. Profit is not the same as what? Profits, some people say that profit, you assume that profit equals to say, no, use what? Accrual accounting. You will know, you will charge whether spent, any amount spent, whether paid or unpaid, you charge against your financial, you get a true record. Separate your business money from your personal money. Don't keep weak financial record. Adapt monthly bookkeeping system. Over leverage. Borrow only when the return on investment for a project is very high, and also early upscale is necessary. Test your financial early upscaling. Sometimes you want to expand. Test your financial before you go into what? Upscaling. Profit efficiency framework. You diagnose, you do audits of your current financial system, diagnose it, design a system. What system are you designing? Create the clear financial policies, discipline, mentor consistently, and diversify is to what? Ensure that you have a multiple streams of revenue that is going for. Upscaling simply means that you are expanding only when the systems are what? Proven. Interactive group. Here you are taking as a youth, you have a shop in Accra and you have a revenue of what? 60,000. The challenge is that you want to pay your rent arrears, you want to pay your salary. Salary has been delayed. Suppliers' pressure is on you. A group task, identify any 5 mistakes in here. If the money are not available, these sales are with your credit, their supply, your clients, they have not paid, and recommend any corrective actions. And what are the monthly turn up for this? Colleagues, I'll end here. I've given you a reference session for that. If I've exhausted your time for this session, kindly permit me, kindly forgive me. I'll end here so that the MC will take it up. Thank you so much for your time for me to be here. My brother Chilasi, if you can hear me, I'm done for now. So you can take it up.
Thank you. I'm not seeing his oh, he's here. Hello, Sam. Hello. So I think while he comes, I think we'll open the floor for questions. If you have any questions, I think we can be answering the questions while he comes. And by the way, this was a good presentation. It was lovely and very eye-opening.
Thank you, my boss.
The way you call me boss. Anyway, we are open for questions. All 3 of us are here. We are ready and waiting for you. So if you have any question, just throw it, and whoever is in the area respectfully would answer.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is John Elton, and then my question has to do with the first presentation.
Yeah.
Can I have or can I hold is it 2 certificates as in I'm a sole proprietor, and then probably along the line I get a chance to partner with someone else to form a company. I want to find out if it is possible to hold both. Then secondly has to do with how much does the registration cost? Because if I'm not lying, he said it could be done in a day. So I just want to find out the amount. Thank you.
Bless.
Okay, thank
Or
you so
should we
much.
take more questions, and I think let's take 2 more people and then we will see.
Okay.
Because I know Bolton also had a question yeah. So let's take 2 more and then maybe we can address 2 at a time. Any more questions?
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the question I was going to Bless, I was asking if a business have their trademark and another business who is not in the know or in the knowledge of that particular trademark develop similar thing or probably go online and copy similar or trademark, but probably change the code of that particular trademark that another company is using. If that company finds out that that company is using a trademark, despite the code, can they sue that company? Then the other question is going to the second speaker. It's also surrounding the obstacles that encountered by the gig economy professionals. So that my question is drawn to 2 obstacles or challenges. One has to do with fluent financial instability issues, wherein gig workers often face irregularity in terms of their income stream, begin challenging to face or maintain financial stability. How can those that work within a gig economy combat such a challenge or obstacles? Another has to do with limited access to benefits and protection. Likewise, those of us that works permanently with private employee, with employer rather, we get access to other benefits and insurance. So I want to know, as for gig workers, whether there are some benefits and protection surrounding them. Thank you.
Thank you. I think these are full questions that we can address. So Bless, you first.
Okay, thank you so much. So starting from the first one, there is no limitation on the number of businesses that you can register. So far, I don't know of any law in Ghana that limits you to a particular number of businesses. You can register as many as you want. However, when it comes to company, there are exceptions. So before you become a company officer, specifically a secretary or director, there are conditions. You must not be a director of a company that became insolvent in the past 5 years. You must not be someone that has been considered as a criminal at the court of law. I think there are 4 or 5 conditions laid out by the Companies Act. So if you find yourself in any of those things, even that cannot prevent you if you can justify it at the court of law. So you can say that, yes, I was part of a business that became insolvent in the past 5 years, but I still want to register a company, be part of a director of a company, and I have reasons to justify that. If you have if you have control over the law, because you'll be signing a court declaration, you can go to the court and prove to them why you qualify to go ahead, and then you are good to go. That is in rare cases. Other than that, generally, you are not limited to number of businesses that you are supposed to register. Is that okay? So that I move to the next person. The one who asked, is it answered?
Yes, please. And then please, how much for the registration?
Good. So the registration, the type of business you want to register, and the cost. The cost too is in 2 sessions. We have the statutory payment. That is the payment that is made at the bank to the office for processing, and then administrative fees. For instance, if you need our service to register business for you, we charge you administrative fees, and then in addition to the statutory fees. So let me talk about the statutory fees, see some of them are fixed. For sole proprietorship, the statutory amount for normal process, I think, is 120 cedis. And then when you are doing prestige, it's around, I think, 500 to 600. That is, you want to get it the same day or 2. And then for partnership, I think it's somewhere around 600 or 500. And then for company, as for company, we don't have a fixed amount because you are going to pay, I think, 500 and then pay 0.5% stamp duty. That is 0.5% of your stated capital. So your stated capital will have an impact on how much you are going to pay. And then for guarantee, it's also around 600, 700. So these are statutory payment that you pay. But if you are working with any consulting firm, they may charge you administrative fees in addition to that. You can also go to their portal, orc.gov.gh, and then you can see all the fees over there. Thank you. Okay, so I think I can go to Burton question. Yeah, so Burton, if you register the name, you have every right. Nobody can use the name. So ABC Ahead Business Consult has been registered for about 5 years now. So you cannot use it at the first place unless you want to use it without registry, because when you get to the office of the registrar of companies, they have a registrar for all the business names that they register. And you cannot register a business that has already been registered. So once they check and it has been registered, they'll tell you that.
Quick on, please. Not the name, a trademark.
Yes, I'm coming to that. So what I'm trying to say is that the name, once you register it, no one can take it from you. But your trademark, if you don't register it, it can be taken from you. So for instance, this logo that you can see for ABC Ahead Business Consult, I've not registered the logo. So anyone at all can use the logo, and I cannot sue the person unless I register the logo as my trademark. So if you have not registered it, you risk of losing it. But the business name, since you have registered, that one still remain with you, and nobody can take it from you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so kindly.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry, my network was still disturbing, so I had to go off and come back. I was trying to tap my unmute myself, but it was not speaking, so I have to exit, restart the phone, and come back.
Okay. I think there's
Benson, thank you.
You are welcome back.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a question on the floor that Bless and I were to address. So I think Bless is done with his.
Okay, so you can.
It's my turn now. Yeah. So I think this is Bolton's question. The question was how can we combat financial insecurity? Because in the 8 to 5, there's that at the end of the month you have money, but with the gig, you get the money tomorrow, it can be gone. Yeah, so this is one big challenge in the area. But anytime I teach this or I talk about the gig economy, what I tell people to do, because of time, we couldn't go into details, but in other sessions, when I teach financial gig economy, there's always financial literacy, a bit of it attached to it. Okay. Now, what you need to do first and foremost as a gig worker is to, one, make sure that you are not just on one platform or stick to one particular group of people that you provide your services to. As a gig worker, if you're a full-time, especially those in full-time, if you're a full-time gig worker, what you need to do is that you need to register your profile with different platforms, okay, and make sure that you are active and always selling yourself. Okay, that will help you get different contracts from different places. Now, the second thing which I would put above the other ones is to build an emergency fund, more like a savings. Okay, so you need to build a savings buffer to reduce vulnerability. People, let's say you work for somebody contracts you to work and you are paid 50,000 Ghana cedis for one contract within, some contracts, it doesn't matter whether it will take 15 years or 5 months or 2 months. What the contractor knows is that he has given the work to you, you need to finish it for me. But usually it's within a period. So once you receive that amount of money, say 50,000, you don't spend all the 50,000 because you know that if you say 50,000. My senior Benson was talking about businesses creating some buffers. So you have some funds there for you, emergency, say for 3 months ahead or maybe 5 months ahead. That money you don't touch while you work to make extra. Okay, so that's another thing you save, because even savings, I think it's usually the beginning of a discipline in creating wealth. So that's one thing that you really need to look at. And also you need to upskill. Upskilling simply means you need to develop yourself. And because whilst the platforms are evolving, skills are evolving, and people who have the advantage are the people who will get more, more contracts. If you're an accountant, every day you need to learn new things. Assuming an accountant that does not know how to use any of the accounting softwares. Now, every job requirement, they put there, you must know, you must have knowledge about QuickBooks, you must have knowledge about zero accounting software, or even Odoo. So these days, you just don't siphon yourself in one area. Okay, you need to open up and grow. So you need to scale up. And then also you should consider formalizing the business, your business. So even though, which is why it was necessary that we had Bless. So even though you don't work full time, it will be very important for you to have, say, register a business and maybe a consultancy firm. Once you have that consultancy firm, anything you use that because it helps. It helps in the sense that as a sole proprietor of market, it helps you to sometimes access credit that you use to operate as a business. So say you've been operating for a number of years, you have all your finances and everything clear, but you do not want to use your money to do all the marketing, to all the branding and other things. You can have access to some microfinance or credits to support the business while you are able to sustain yourself. It doesn't matter. That's why we call it sole proprietorship. It's owned by you and it's for only you. Okay. So these are the advice that I'll give you. But the most important one is you need to create a savings or a buffer and also ensure that you are on multiple platforms. And then there's another question about insurance. So for 8 to 5, there is employment agreement form for everybody to sign. And then you are put on some, social security agreement and all that. With the gig workers, that doesn't exist. What exists is the contract between you and the person contracting you, which is why when I was talking, I kept going back to what Bless was talking about, that all the time, make sure that you have a contract and an agreement. Okay, once the contract is signed, so you should know what you want, you know your worth, know what you want, what you can offer. Is it, can you assist me through sourcing for a gig? Okay, I'll come to that. So you need to know your worth and what you can offer. And that commands what you can get from the person that is sourcing you. Okay. So that's something that you can consider. Okay. So I don't know if I've answered you, but these are some answers that I think I can support it. If it's not enough, I can consult with Bless and Benson to also give their knowledge. So let me hear from you if this works for you, if this is okay for you.
Yeah, thank you so kind. Thank you so kind.
Okay.
To be honest, this month I'm so glad to be part of the training because this is my first time hearing about the gig economy. I'm so blessed to learn from this knowledge.
I'm glad we're able to impact. Last time I said something in Bless, like I said, it's just like going on an engagement and then you've gone there, you've won a soul for Christ. It's like we've won a soul in the gig economy. I'm glad. Can you assist? Can you assist me through sourcing for a gig? Oh, well, so you want us to help you get a gig, eh? What's your area and what do you do? I think we can talk that back door.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I can share your contact with him. He'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I would like that.
My good brother senior. Okay, so the colleague who is asking for if you can help him get a gig. You know, we are living in a world where whatever we do, people watch and observe. I remember, and these relationships, people has ulterior motive of building relationship with people. But then if you are building a relationship solely because you want to be there for people, mind you, there is going to be a day and time where certain relationship is going to open these gig economy opportunities for you. I can share my own personal experience with you guys, and I think you'll be motivated to even look outside the box. Maybe people around you, they have even opportunities that you are looking for, but you don't know. I remember last year, a colleague of mine, somebody that I've been there for years, spoke to me. Let's say I've known Bless. I don't know of Gideon, but Bless spoke to Gideon about me, about who I am. Now Gideon traveled to Guinea-Bissau, and Gideon, who doesn't know me, but he only knows somebody that I know, engaged me to say that I have this opportunity for you. I think you'll be the best person to do that. I said, but you don't know me. He said, oh, for what Bless told me about you, I think you'll be the best person to do that. And gladly, he engaged me with the people, like you're talking about contract signing and stuff. He sent me the proposal of the contract. I review in detail and I signed the contract. I don't know them. I have not been Guinea Bissau before. But then I represent an international debt collection agency in Ghana through just a recommendation. So this is just a little I'll add up. They are runners every day, every moment. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Please,
Any further question? All right. I also have a question, but go ahead.
Okay, please, if you have a business which has already been registered for more than a year and hasn't been renewed, and you want to renew it, do you have to go through the normal renewal process, or there is other process that you have to go through?
So I think this goes to Mr. Bless.
Yes, please. Okay. So the first thing is that it depends on the business type. If it is a sole proprietorship, you just go and then renew. In fact, with sole proprietorship, you can even renew on your phone. So you dial the code 222 *222#, and then you can jump onto the Ghana Gov platform and you renew it at the comfort of your home. So the idea of renewal does not have something to do with whether you are operating or not. The idea is that they want to know that the business is still in existence. That's all. So it has nothing to do with whether you have worked and have been done anything. No. Their own is that you have a name in the register. Is that name still in existence? Yes, that is what renewal is about. That is if it is a sole proprietorship. However, if it is a company, your audit firm need to prepare audit statement or a financial statement for the renewal. So you need financial statement prepared by your audit firm, and then you attach it to the renewal forms before you can apply for the annual returns. If you have not done anything, I think my senior Benson will attest to it. You go to Ghana Revenue Authority, you go and do affidavit that, okay, for 3 years, I have not done anything. So I have not earned anything. Now, to that effect, your auditors will find a way. I think they call it the statement of affairs or something. So they will prepare whatever they will prepare for you with your zero or empty account, and you still have to renew. The only difference here is that the one that is working will pay tax, and you that you are not working, or you said you are not working, you will be exempted from tax because there is nothing for you to be taxed from. But as to the renewal process, it remains the same, whether you have done something or not. I hope this is able to answer your question. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sam.
All right, so my question. Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Benson, please, you spoke about cash flow, and you spoke about some cash that is necessary that every company reserve for payment of debt. I want to know if this reserve is something legal, that we have legal institutions that look into it, that every company must do that, or is just a business principle that people can just they know, but there is no legal requirement attached to it, so they just go by it that way. And I also want to know if there are insurance entities that probably I own a business, but because of uncertainties, I pay something probably monthly, so that in a day or a moment where I have no cash to be able to pay my suppliers, I can rely on the insurance company for that. I don't know if you get my questions well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother Sam. Okay, so let me explain your question, the two questions for you. The first one, in terms of the reserve I'm talking about. When you say a company or someone is very liquid, we are talking about in terms of cash. So, for instance, the example that I give you for the cash flow, assuming you have inflow. When you talk about inflow, it could come from so many, maybe your return on investment, your customers are paying you, and you have 100,000 coming in into your business as cash. In the month, your outflows could be your payment of salary, rent, prepayment, among others. And it is 50,000 that will go out. So ideally, what will stand in your business is 50,000. That is your liquid cash available to be used against what will come in next month. What I was trying to emphasize is that the 50,000 that is available in that month, where you might not use it for anything, you could put into a reserve. And the reserve I'm talking about, we have so many types of reserve. It could be a reserve with a bank. Banks have a lot of policies. Um, we call accounts, mutual funds, a lot. And the interest rate in terms of value is more than just a normal savings or fixed deposits. So you put it in there, part of it, you put it in there. It also yields something for you. The purpose is that you are putting in there. And for the call account, for instance, at any time you need your money, you can call for it. That's the meaning of call account. The reason is that at any time where your inflow, money that is from customers, it doesn't come. I give you an example where there's a fire outbreak that destroyed. Let's say you have all your customers at Kantamanto. A fire outbreak destroyed all their, stock, including their money. How are they going to get money to pay you? But then they are falling on insurance to repay them. But you have a reserve where you have kept somewhere. You could draw on that to cushion your financial, and then you'll be able to pay your suppliers as and when they fall due. So that is basically what I was talking about. So where they get the money from, their insurance company, then they paid you. I don't know if your first question is very clear and clearly answered. The second one, where you are talking in terms of whether insurance company, where you have to pay a customer, an insurance company, you can maybe enter into something with an insurance company. There are a lot of agreements, but mind you, like I told you, you have to consider a lot of things, a lot of factors. There is no clear cut. There is no shortcut to anything. If you want to want to enter into any insurance company have a lot of policies, and maybe one of their policies is factoring. A factoring is where maybe your invoice will be discounted or they will pay on your behalf. Customers, there are a lot of policies, but mind you, read. Like Bless said, Gideon said, read the contract you'll be signing with them. Other than that, you are sending your dead warrants. You'll be working for someone. Always assess the opportunities available, funding opportunities, whether it's viable whether it is okay, whether it's something that will help your business. Assuming you are earning a profit of 20,000 every month, and you have gone to, enter into funding arrangements for insurance company to pay something on your behalf, where every month they are taking 15,000 out of the money. Is it a viable investment? Where there are opportunities out there that is either 1% or 2% or 3% every month. Why don't you consider that? So you have to consider opportunities available. So if again, the insurance opportunity is something that you consider after looking at all alternatives, and that is the best one for you. Why don't you go ahead and do that? But if it is not the best one, please consider other alternatives. My brother Chulasi, I don't know if I've answered your two questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I believe any further.
Yes, please. Please, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, I would like to find out in relation to maybe a business registration with the Food and Drugs Board. Most of the time, they are likely to ask you the measurements. For instance, if you come to learn about the liquid soap or any of the detergents, they'll mostly ask for the measurement of the product. I wanted to find out whether the ones that we are likely to be taught, they are the standard measurements everywhere in the world. Thank you.
Okay.
I want to take this about is it standard or quality? What standard checking, right? Yeah. So
yeah. So the Food and Drugs Authority, they are interested in the content, and so they want to know what exactly your product is made up of. Then the Ghana Standard Authority may be interested in the container or the size, as you are saying. So if you are saying that a sachet water is 500 ml, is it really 500 ml? It means that if 10 people, if we buy 10 different sachet water and we pour all of them into a container that is 5 ml, they should be the same. And this is the same standard that is used to manufacture almost all the things. For instance, when you come to construction, electricals, a socket is done by a different company. And then a 3-pin plug is also done by a different company, even from a different place. But when you fix the socket on the wall and you put this 13-amp plug inside, it's able to fit in because a particular standard has been maintained. So when it comes to standardization, it has to do with you doing it according to measurement or according to the standard. And that is where the Ghana Standard Authority comes in. As for the FDA, they are interested in the content, whether it is harmful to us, whether when we take it, we are okay. As to whether you are producing 10 ml or whatever ml, it does not really concern them. They are interested in the content. I don't know if that answers your question and if anyone has something to add to it. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, and in addition, every country have their own standard for whatever productions or whatever goods and services is being produced. So Ghana can approve something that is standard quality, but also when you want to enter a market, say a market in UK or the US, you have to find out what their standards about the particular product about, or what level of standard they are holding before you be able to enter their market. So every country have their own standards. And like Bless said, FDA will do the content and make sure that whatever you are doing, whatever you said you used to produce, whatever you produce is right and true and not going to harm any individual or any consumer. But also the standard authorities to make sure that what you are producing the standard one and what is acceptable way of doing the things, acceptable whatever. And so I think every country have their own standardization procedure. So even though Ghana may accept, when you are entering into the US market, they will assess you and ensure that what you are producing is standard according to, like, standard for their market.
Please,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will take, if there is any last question, then we follow with the proof. If there is any.
I think we should be wrapping up because we've taken more hours than.
Yes, taking more hours, but I believe we have learned something great.
Yeah.
So any last question? All right. If there is none, we say thank you all. We have 2 minutes for announcement from Brother Gideon Degbe and a closing remark.
Okay,
announcement,
so
if there is any.
Yes.
And then when you finish, you
you.
go ahead with the closing remarks as well.
Okay, all right. Thank you everyone for making it to be here. The announcement was that, so this program was actually an orientation program for those participating in the Quick Learn Quick End program, which is happening on Monday. But we thought it was that this is important. The topic was very important, and we thought to extend it to the outside participant. It was supposed to be a compulsory a webinar for all those on the program, but they are not here. That's unfortunate. But that's the idea, that we want to we want to make sure that, so one of YDP's main objective is that we want to transition young people from a state of dependency to a state of independence, where young people are not forced to make decisions based on who is feeding them or who is who is giving them anything, okay, or giving them any resources. So we want to build a self-sufficient generation of young people, which is why we decided that we are holding these programs and activities, and for which reason this webinar, to take you through the processes. Because after learning a trade, you don't just sit down. You transition it from just offering a home service or a personal service to creating a business. And from creating a business, you eventually employ. Because that's the idea of YDP, that whatever training you are receiving, you'll be able to bless other people with it. So you'll be able to employ others. And once you employ others, once you go on, you are sustaining your business and you are keeping your finances well, and you're able to employ others to also benefit and also help others. So it's a multiple effect, multiplied effect we are trying to inculcate into you. So anyone who is here who is not part of our program, we just want to say that you were not here by mistake. You've been blessed, and God bless you for taking the opportunity to learn. 3 quick announcements. Should I say 3? Yeah. First of all, we would, for those in the Quick Learn Quick End program, after the program, there is a 1-year mentorship program for everyone. We would group you, and then for each group, you'll be assigned to mentors, and they will be taking you through monthly meetings, 2-hour monthly meetings for 6 months. After 6 months, they will just be checking up on you and how you are faring and how you are doing in business, in life, and then, all aspects of, growth as a young person. And then after 1 year, they leave you. We will identify individuals who, about 5 of you who are, exceptional and very forthcoming and very impactful. And then you join our team to also help. So maybe subsequently, you also get the opportunity to also mentor somebody. You train and mentor somebody in the YDP Ghana program. So eventually you become a fellow and you'll be helping us to, impact lives. So that is an announcement I want to share with you. But I want to end here. Other announcements will be shared with you on the platforms. But I want to end here and conclude and thank my brother Bless and my brother Benson for answering the call. When I wanted to do this, I was wondering who I should reach out to. But then they said, like they themselves actually said, there are people in our circles that we can always make use of. They are willing and ready to share their knowledge and support in any way they can. And myself and on behalf of YDP Ghana, we say a very big thank you for making yourself available. But another request I want to make is that, yes.
Please, with the video editing group, is the session going to be online or face to face?
Video production is going to be online. I think we put the notice on the platform. Video production is going to be online, but we are currently not admitting. Social media.
I'm asking because there was a bit of contradiction.
Okay, I think I've addressed that. On the platform. Yeah. So social media is actively, we are looking for more people in the social media space. Our trainer, who is Blessed, has accepted to take more people in the space. So we're actually open to more people to join the social media. Because it's online, anybody doing any in-person can also join the social media training. It's 3 days. But that is about that. So Brother Bless and Brother Steve, thank you so much. And I'm asking that when we open, hopefully Monday, we'll send flyers around to open for mentors to be on board to help our participants to scale up so that we don't have just trained people and they are gone. This is a humble call to invite you to serve as our mentors to our participants so that we can make more impact beyond just the training. So thank you everyone for the time. And I know that they will give me their decisions either in text or maybe when I meet them. But I mean, it's urgent. Anyway, thank you. Yeah, Sam, I'm done.
Please, I wanted to make a inquiry about something.
Okay.
What's the video production about? What does it cover?
So if you were going to come in person, we would have done camera handling and a few of that. But because you are not coming in person, we are taking that camera handling out. But you're going to do basically short clips, short videos, how to market anything with video or how to market anything, if you get it, like the editing, the adding text to, how do you call it? Adding text to videos, and all those things you've been seeing. The small TikTok video that somebody have done a video that they are selling this product and this is how much it costs, all in the video, like those small edits and all stuff. Yeah, that's what we're trying to teach. Yeah.
So any of the participants can join any of them.
For video production, we've closed that, but for social media management, it goes beyond just social media management. It includes video, digital marketing as well, and content creation for social media management. So if anyone is doing soap or t-shirt printing, or what is the third one? In person. Sobolo and pie making, that is in person. The rest are virtual, but social media is the only one that is virtual, that is open. So if you want to join an extra one, is social media management training that you can join.
Okay, I would like to join the social media one.
Okay, so you text me on WhatsApp and then I'll share the link with you. The WhatsApp platform so that you join. All right.
And please, I wanted to know, like, what are some of the
Thank you all.
detergents?
Thank you all, our speakers, Mr. Gideon, Mr. Bless, Mr. Stephen.
Oh, Samir is gone again.
Oh, all participants for joining and for bearing with us the time. We say thank you.
All right, my brother, it looks like somebody was asking a question.
Encourage us. Let's let practice
Sam.
So that
someone wants to ask a question.
The more we do this, let's bear in mind that we are one way or the other making the streets empty, the street children, and all those things.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
I think a lady was about asking a question.
Like, what was the lady?
Please, can I go
Yeah.
ahead?
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Please, I wanted to find out because one of the flyer was stated liquid soap and powerful detergents. I wanted to know the kind of detergents we are going to learn. Thank you.
Yeah, so I was speaking with her this morning, and apparently a lot has changed from our earlier conversation. So they are going to do, what did she even say? She said bleach. Yeah, she said so it's liquid. They are not doing bar soap anymore because it will take quite a long. We wanted to do 1 week, and we didn't want to also stress about the transportation that is going to bring people in and all of that. It's going to cost extra. So we decided to engage with them again and do a 1-day program that is also intensive. And so they agreed. That will limit the number of things they can train on. So they said liquid soap and bleach. Those are the two.
Okay, please. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. So as I was saying, while we're doing this, we bear in mind that we are making the streets empty for street children, people who have nothing doing. So Mr. Gideon and the YDP team, we say thank you for this wonderful program. Thank you, Mr. Benson, for your time. Thank you, Mr. Bless. And thank you, everybody, for joining. Let's spread Monday program. Let's join. Let's find time to learn something, to be the change, agent of change in the world. God bless you all. If there is no further announcement,
I just have to say that Mr. Benson has agreed to be part of the mentor, so I'm grateful. I just want to thank him here before we go off. Thank you very much for accepting. I know Bless will come in, but I'm waiting for his comment.
Mr. Benson, thank you.
Thank you, my boss.
All right. I think that's the end. We've taken more time. Please note that we'll post this session on YouTube. And so if you want to refer to it anytime, you can have access to it, and we will share this on the platform. So you can tell people to go and watch and listen. It's very insightful. Myself, I've learned a lot. For you to share with other people.